and I normally don't say this about people, somebody need to whoop his so he can get some guts.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharpe. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay. Stopping by for conversation and a drink today, he's a trailblazer, a pioneering force in the world of comedy, hip-hop's first nationally recognized comedian, a seasoned veteran with over 40 years in the entertainment business. He performs to sold-out crowds around the world with an unapologetic delivery. One of the most authentic voices in the industry. He's celebrated for his original storytelling, motivation, and advice. An underground legend, a versatile actor, prolific writer, multi-hyphenated businessman, and well-respected host. He helped launch careers of so many legends. The best-kept secret in America, T to the mofo K. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, TK Kirkland.
Yo.
Bro,
That's how you introduce a motherfucker.
Man, it is a pleasure to have you on Club Shay Shay, man.
Pleasure,
40
man.
years in the industry, man. We got to toast that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bro, thank you for stopping by.
No.
Appreciate your time. I know you're busy. You got a lot going on. I see y'all around.
Yes.
Appreciate you stopping
Thank
by.
you.
Club
No,
Shay Shay.
this means a lot to me as well.
You don't have my drink, Club.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Gonna have me f***ed up in here.
TK, since you started your career and you've opened up for so many, N.W.A. and Luda and Jay-Z, some of the biggest and brightest. Mm-hmm. So for you today to come here, we're going to open up with a very, very special performer. She flew herself all the way from Japan. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen, Awich.
Karate hunger with a boss, shift mental. Diamonds cut clean, hygiene so essential. Tiger like Kenzo, box you out like Bento. Call me Miss Miyagi when I bust you in your dental. Wow, wax on, wax off. Clothes at the luggage, gotta get the bags on. Never graduated, but you get your cap on. You run around my way, gotta shut the dags off. And alright, Shay Shay, wax on, wax off. Hey, wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. Things could get vicious, so you better greet us. Show me who your leaders, I can argue with thesis. Filling up arenas, running up the commas. When you hear my voice, to them Baptist niggas run up.
Baptist, they kick it and they married to the grandma. So many wanna kick it, think it's Gary, Indiana. Yoko's and the mice and them Shiros and my washis. I was on the side catching flies with my chopsticks.
Tap, 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 don't get pop like that pop quiz. Tick, tock, tock, hurry up, sit them clock ticks. Kicking in the dojo with a Shay Shay sensei. Crush every level, okay, now what?
Hey, don't make me take a trip to Okinawa. Break a brick with a chop, keep a stick and a chopper. I teach you how to block, you ain't know it. Sicilian's Lupe, warrior, poet, yeah.
Bum bum when I ever tell you cock back. Bum bum when I ever tell you cock back. Bum bum when I ever tell you cock back. You know how we go. We got the flow and the blow, and we sharp with the swerve when we throw back the bow through your throat. You be gone like gone with the storm, and we calm, never slow. If you cold with the palms, we could go toe to toe like
wax on, wax off.
Hey,
wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off.
Yeah. Wow. Stick around, guys, because we're going to bring back Awich to perform again, and you're going to learn more about her story. As I mentioned, you started your career, and I didn't know this was a thing until recently when I see a lot of young comedians and they say they open up for X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. But that's how you started your career. You opened up for N.W.A. way back when?
Way back, 1988.
Wow.
And I got my start, and I wanted to start giving New Edition their start. I mean, their props.
Props, okay.
Because New Edition, I toured with them first.
Okay.
And because I toured with New Edition, and I met Eazy-E, because Bobby had left New Edition, and Al Heyman, who's now the business manager of Floyd Mayweather, loved my style of comedy. And he booked me to host a show with Bobby Brown, Albie Shore, Tina Marie, and Keith Sweat at the LA Forum in Los Angeles. Turned it out, but during intermission, a DJ put in a cassette of a local rap group. It was N.W.A. Me being the kind of guy I am, I needed to know who these people were.
Right.
So Bobby was next to me. He told me where they were. He saw them in the audience. I walked up the stage. I walked up to this young man, and I told him my name was T to the MFK. And he said I was Easy MFE. And Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, all came to see me perform at the Comedy Store.
Right.
A week later, Eazy-E said, yo, let's go. And I went on my first national tour straight out of Compton.
So you started with New Edition.
New Edition.
Then you met N.W.A.
I met N.W.A.
And then they put you on, and that's kind of where you started.
Right. And then that's what took me to everybody else. And I always had that same formula, right?
Right.
So that formula took me to writing comedy skits on albums. Then I was rocking with Too Short. Then I was rocking with Luke in Miami.
Okay.
I was rocking with Jay-Z. I was rocking with Lloyd. I did Player's Diary. I did Timbaland's first album. Gwen Stefani, right? So I did everybody's stuff. So I always kept quiet because nobody knew my path of my career. So I always just stayed low key and all that because I come from a different era than the comedians today because I was in the streets as well.
Right.
So my OGs, we had a certain style of communication. We don't say nothing. Even back in the day, the way we take pictures now, you would get beat up back in the day. If you took somebody's picture, they didn't authorize it.
Right.
But now everybody takes a picture. But we didn't want to be in the spotlight.
Right.
But because of the business I'm in, I have to be on Instagram,
Right.
which I kind of hate.
Right.
I have to do it.
Yeah, you got to sell. I mean, but you're independent. You got to sell yourself.
I got to sell myself. You hit it right in there. But there's going to be a day, and it's coming soon, where there's no more text messaging. There's no more videos. I'm just going to stop.
Then what's the next step? What's the progression?
Well, the thing is, I just want to continue traveling the way I do. I think I've saved up enough financial security to take me into when my time is over, right? And I just want to enjoy. I got grandkids. You understand? We getting there, right? I mean, we work so hard.
Yes.
And there's only so many damn jokes you could say.
Right.
Even though, and I want to tell my fans, even though I love when they come to see me perform, I love getting ready. Just like I told you, I was getting ready for you 3 years ago.
Wow.
I was preparing for you 3 years ago. So when my team was like, TK, I can't wait for you to do Club Shay Shay. I said, don't worry about it. It's gonna come. I promise you it's gonna come. So when I got the call, I thought it was fake because somebody had sent me a fake email pretending it was you.
Right.
And they was like, oh, we want you to do Club. Shannon's a big fan of you, but they didn't have no phone number.
Right.
They did it twice. So when your
There's been a
guy
lot of that
Dave,
going on.
yeah. So when Dave reached out to me, he had the phone number there.
Right.
I knew it was official.
Right.
So when I called, he said, man, Shannon, what, yo? You know, they got that. And I said, boom, it was set. So we supposed to have done it a month from now, but I got to do Boston, Massachusetts. So when I said, yo, let's do it earlier, everybody said it was okay.
Perfect.
And boom, here we are.
You mentioned that you opened up for a lot of rappers. Is it common now for comedians to open up for rappers now, or was a thing of the past?
It was a thing of the past. Okay. I don't think, the one thing I know for sure, you had to have a gift to open up for a rap group. See, Leo Cohen said it best to me. I was opening up, it was the Rough Riders, Cash Money Millionaires, we was doing the show in New York. It was packed, 18,000 people, and I'm turning it out. So Leo Cohen said, TK, a lot of people don't know you have the most important job of the night because you have to control the climate of the room. You can cite a riot or you can keep them laughing. And I always kept them entertained. And that's what always kept me going. And that's one thing I can say for sure that will solidify my position because most comedians don't have comedy IQ. Like you guys in football know who was the great running backs. You know who's the great quarterbacks. You know, you watch film to know when you play a team, who's that guy.
Right.
In our business, comedians don't do their homework. They don't have what I call comedy IQ.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have it. They do not have it. So comedy IQ is knowing your history, right? A lot of people think Russell Simmons started black comedy, but it was a gentleman named Michael Williams.
Right.
Michael Williams started black comedy in South Central on 43rd and Crenshaw, a place called the Regency West. The Regency West, the reason why he rented out a hall, because he had the best stand-up comedian probably ever touched the mic, Robin Harris.
Oh,
But this is before they would let us in the improvs.
Right.
The funny bones. See, comedians think that's easy now for them to get in there.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. I'm not saying they disliked us, but only people that was popular back in the day was Richard Pryor,
Correct.
Paul Mooney. It wasn't. It's so many more comedians today. It's insane. But back then it was only a few black comics.
Right.
So we had to get our own venue, and once that took off, it started spreading to Chicago, started spreading to Miami. Then Bob Sumner and Tina Graham, who worked with Russell Simmons, started Def Jam.
Right.
Now, what they did with Def Jam is...
So you think that's why they gave Russell get so much credit, because he started Def Comedy Jam?
Yeah, because people don't know the history.
And it kind of blew up.
It blew up. So he's gonna get the
credit.
He's gonna get the credit. And the rest is history. But by Def Jam starting is what got everybody into the improvs, into the funny bones. And that's why I always tell comedians, if you can, always try to work at a black-owned comedy club at least 2-3 times a year to get our people, our black owners, rich, because we made everybody else rich.
Correct.
And we don't take the time to look out for our own people. And that's so important to me, because I remember when we only get $20 and 2 chicken wings.
Wow.
Yeah, sir. See, I go way back then. So comedians are making a lot of money now.
They're making a lot of money.
But if they knew the comedy IQ, if they knew the history, they would say, yo, it's my duty
to give back.
To give back. And that's what's important. That's what's missing.
Do you, were you the first comedian to open up for rappers? Was there somebody?
Yeah, there was nobody before me.
No.
And anybody could say that nobody, if you wasn't doing comedy in 1985, which most of them wasn't, you wasn't before me. I started in 1985, and 1988, I was on tour with N.W.A.
So what was your wildest experience being on the road with N.W.A.?
I could tell you that it was easy. Our first day going to Indianapolis, this is for headphones.
Yeah.
So Dr. Dre was on the plane with the boombox, and he was playing it loud on the plane.
Damn.
Exactly. Flight attendant came and said, sir, you need to turn that off. Dr. Dre said, fuck you, bitch. That's exactly what he said.
Damn.
So nobody thought anything. Next thing you heard the pilot say, we're making an emergency landing. They dropped our asses off.
Where they drop y'all off at?
In Arizona.
Damn, y'all hadn't even made it halfway.
Not even halfway. They dropped us off. But Easy was so rich, he bought tickets and put us on another plane, and we left. But yeah, that's the crazy experience I had with N.W.A.
Is it true that Ren slept with your old lady?
Yeah, that's so true.
Hold on. It was reported that you took her shopping, had a knife for Ren.
Yo, that's so funny. Y'all been doing your homework. Shout out to Ren. But he taught me the game. You know, because I was always been a player.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I flew the girl in, and I'll never get the road manager was like, no, TK, liability, you can't bring her. I'm like, nah, we could do it. He didn't care. So we go shopping, we hanging out. So because I'm the MC, I got to be there first.
Yeah.
So
you left her back at the hotel?
I left her at the hotel.
Oh.
So it's 6 o'clock, 7, it's 8. I think she finally got there around 8. Whew. So we do the concert, nothing happens. I see her, we doing our
Hey,
thing.
how you doing, man? Girl, good to see you.
2 o'clock in the morning, I get this knock on the door. Boom, 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 boom. It's easy. He says, come out for me, come in. I come out, he said, Ren had sex with your girl.
Huh?
And then he fell out on the floor in the hallway and rolled. Easy was funny. He was funny. He rolled down the hallway and laughed her. But because of my mindset, I had to go get my stuff, for her stuff, put it in the bag, and I threw out the hotel.
Dang.
Yeah, that was my first lesson of being a player but getting played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you and Ren have a conversation about that?
We see each other. We don't bring it up. We just laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see each other. I mean, I'm quite sure he sees the interviews over the years. It is what it is, you know? It was a valuable lesson.
Was that the only time you had a young lady taken from you?
Well, she wasn't my woman.
Yeah, but she I mean, you brought her there.
Yeah.
You took her shopping.
Yeah.
Got a nice outfit.
Yeah.
For Ren to take up off.
I think that's the only time. I think that's the only time. Yeah. But that's why I'm glad you brought this up. Because men today will shoot somebody now.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Or kill the girl or kill themselves.
Yeah.
And what I want men to understand, since Shannon brought this up, is a great segue into this. Learn to control your emotions. Because you guys get so upset that you want to kill someone and risk your whole life over one woman when it's 1 billion people out there. And I want men to, I know it hurts. We know it hurts.
For sure.
It hurts.
Especially if you invested in her.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the more time you invest, the more, you know, if you invest money, you invest time, you invest energy. It's just like anything. Like when you're an athlete and you invest all the training, all the eating right, the denying yourself, going on vacation, denying a lot of things. And so when it doesn't work out in your favor, it hurts you.
It hurts.
And sometimes you see athletes cry and you're like, man, what? Man, it's just a game. No, it's not.
No.
Because you don't understand what I invested in order to win this game.
Yes,
and
sir.
so anytime you invest time, energy, effort into something that doesn't go your way, it hurts. You invest time, you invest whatever the case may be, your love, your attention into an individual, and it doesn't go your way, it hurts. And it should, because the more invested you are, the more it should hurt.
Yes, but control your ego, because it's your ego.
That's the ego,
Your ego is what's hurting, right? Can't believe she did that to me.
I'm me.
Right, and then you lose your life. And gentlemen and ladies, hold tight, because there will be a better tomorrow. And that's important for us to say that to the world, because they crashing out here.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yes.
You can't even compliment a woman on a tattoo.
Yeah.
Or compliment her. No. It leads to a fight or killing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You open up for Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Nelly, Outkast, Luda, Cash Money, Rough Riders, DMX. What's your favorite story? Give me a couple of your favorite stories from opening up from, because, bro, I mean, you talk about heavyweights, Jay, Lil Wayne, because you talk about top 5, top 10 rappers.
Easy.
There's not a whole lot of lists that won't have Hov, Wayne, M on that list.
Yes, I totally agree. We start with Lil Wayne first. I was rocking with Lil Wayne when we were 16. So I was like a big uncle to him.
Right.
And he loved me to death. And we just truly enjoyed each other. Baby showed me how money didn't matter. When he first got his $30 million deal, me and a man named Ron Bird is the person that introduced me to Cash Money.
Okay.
So me and another gentleman, we hanging with Baby and them the night that we was doing a concert in New Orleans.
Right.
And Baby took the whole community shopping. We was on Canal Street shopping for everybody. But then he stopped at a Bentley dealership. He bought 5 Bentleys at one time. This is in the 90s, this is 1999, 1998.
Wow.
When Bentleys wasn't even out like that. And I was telling my man, don't look at him, because probably he's gonna get us a Bentley. You know, he has people just don't care.
Yeah.
And you don't wanna make eye contact with him, so maybe you look the other way.
Yeah.
He might say, I thought that was gonna happen, I ain't gonna lie. But it didn't happen. But
you ain't get no Bentley?
No, we didn't get the Bentley. But Baby was something else, and still a great gentleman to this day. Jay-Z, what I liked about Jay-Z, and shout out to Jay, I hired him first for my birthday party.
Yeah, your 35th.
35th birthday party. He came, he was late, I didn't want him to go on. And my crew that I was working with, Eric Von Zip, Frankie B, Haitian Jack, I rode with some real powerful people back in the day. And they said, nah, T, I'm going. I was being a little egotistical, you know, because we mink coat, fly.
Yeah.
And
he showed up late, like, nah, you ain't going to show up late to my party and think you about to grace the stage.
Exactly. That's exactly how it was. But my crew got in my ear and said, let him go on. He turned it out.
Yeah.
He turned it out. And him, Damon Dash, all of them was there. And the love came when he blew up. He took me on the Hard Knock Life Tour.
Wow.
So we rocking the Hard Knock Life Tour, and that's how I met with Cash Money. And it was just a great moment. Timbaland, what I liked about Timbaland, I knew his father.
Okay.
And Timbaland was just getting ready to come out. And I was doing interludes on everybody's album, from the Loonies to Luke to everybody. And Timbaland just showed mad love and respect. And he just wanted him, Missy Elliott. They
Right.
truly just loved what I was doing. And I just loved it. So, I mean, it's good. I love your questions because this is giving the comedians who's gonna watch this education on the history of comedy, which is very important.
Right. Help me understand this. Ray Daniels, he's in the industry, and he says he's kind of lost some respect for Hove because Hove won't help Dame Dash out of his financial situation. Now,
I saw that.
there have been times that Dame has taken an opportunity to kind of take a dump on Hove.
Yes, yes.
And so it's kind of hard
I agree.
when every time somebody got a microphone or a camera in your face, you taking a shot at me.
Yes.
Now when you're at your lowest, you want me to pull you up.
Yes. That's a good question. I want to do this respectfully because I love both of them.
Yeah.
I truly felt what hurt Damon was he talked too much.
Yeah.
And the goal in life is when you get the plug, when you get to connect, is to shut up and get the money.
Mm-hmm.
You get the money. You don't care about the fame. And what most business people do where they mess up is they want the fame.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what hurt to me, Damon Dash. Now that this has happened to Damon, and it hurts me that
That it has because he was the guy that had it all.
I've seen him, man. He was one of the great. I love that dude. Like I've seen him on tour. I've seen what they came up. I remember us driving down Park Avenue. You know, we got the fly rise, and I thought my car was fly. He pulled up at the red light with something even flyer. We got the windows down. We talking mess to each other. I'll never forget those days. And when I read that in the article, I was hurt. But Jay-Z, as men now, we're men.
Yeah.
We're not 17.
Nope.
We're not 18.
Yeah.
Back then, you find loyalty. Like, I'm going to look out for my people.
Right.
But now when you have a family, you've got mortgage. I don't care if you got $1 billion.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for somebody to talk about me in a negative light, basically every chance they get.
But you're a man.
Right.
When you're a man, unless that person, you actually agree with that person from the core, you won't look out for them. It has to be a special bond. And they separated because, to me, too much talking. And that's why I was telling one of my friends the other day about Elon Musk.
Yeah.
On the topic for a second. Elon Musk played himself like a female. He gave Donald Trump $250 million, but what he should have did was shut up and lay in the cut. But he wanted to be in all the meetings.
Yeah.
He wanted recognition.
Right.
He wanted to be seen.
Right.
And destroyed his stock in his business because I got fucking stock in it. It destroyed his relationship with Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
Destroyed it.
Yeah.
I want people to use that example is if you ever get put on,
Right.
get your money.
And shut up.
Shut up. To this day, you don't know who Will Smith's manager is. To this day, you don't know.
Right.
To this day, you have no idea who represents Will Smith. Because his manager, and I know him, I'm not gonna say his name, moves low key.
Right.
And people always want to be recognized.
Right.
Stay up, get your money, stay low key, stay off the radar, so to speak.
I want to pivot back to Jay-Z because Jay-Z, although he got his start in music, he doesn't do a whole lot of music now. Maybe he'll jump on somebody's feature, but for the most part, Jay-Z is a businessman outside of the world of music.
Yes.
When you was with him, did you see this entrepreneurial side of Hov then?
Absolutely, he comes on the streets. So when we was in the streets, all of us used to see each other. The thing about Jay-Z, and I always noticed this in life, when you take care of your crew, you get blessed.
Right.
When Jay-Z turns the corner in a Bentley, his crew turns the corner in a Bentley.
Right.
We did a show in Philly, and they must have had 9 Bentleys pull up backstage. I'm talking about cream top, burgundy. I ain't never seen these colors in Bentleys before. Now I got a little jewelry on, but when they hit the stage, it lit up the stadium.
Right.
Like when the lights hit it,
Yeah, they iced out like that.
it was ice like that. It lit up the stadium. It was like, it was a different type of rainbow, type blue, purple, pink. I still remember to this day because I was there. So that's what I liked about Jay-Z. Now in life, men and women, everybody's not gonna like you, right? You can't make everybody happy.
Right.
It's impossible.
A lot of times, the more successful you would get, the more you're disliked.
Yeah, the more you dislike. I had something that happened today. The dude told me he didn't like me. He said, your word doesn't mean nothing for the struggle. And I said, I don't even know who you are. I said, but if you need help with your credit or need to get out of a little apartment, they got websites to get you together because you don't get mad at me.
Because of your situation.
Because of my situation, like I'm a old, anybody getting mad at me should be embarrassed.
Right.
I'm damn near 70 years old.
Right.
Like to be upset with me is embarrassing.
That's
like
70, bro?
I'm damn near 70. I mean,
I would never believe that, bro.
And let me explain to you what I mean, right? Once you get past 50-something years old.
For sure. You turn day to day.
70 is here in like 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
People don't understand that. One day you 50, you wake up, you 70-something years old,
bro.
or 60-something years. This is a fact.
It is,
It
bro.
moves. And then when you got schedules like us, we know what we're doing 3, 4, 5 years from now.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing. When you have it like that, it's even faster.
Mm-hmm.
So you play if you want to. You know, you play if you want to, it goes by fast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I liked about Jay-Z. Whole crew was straight.
Right. You also went out on the road with M. Well, what is it about M? What, I mean, where would you rank M? Did you know M? I mean, like, because he's
Eminem?
really, yeah.
Yes.
Because the thing is, look, Vanilla Ice had what he had, Ice
Yes.
Ice Baby, and it just blew up, and he made so much money off that one song. But M was really the first white guy.
Yes.
To put it down. And you know, okay, the Beastie Boys.
Yes.
I mean, the Beastie Boys back in the mid 80s. I remember the Beastie Boys. But M was the first with the flow, the way he said, I mean, you're like, damn, he was like, for rap, M was to rap what Tiger Woods was to golf.
I totally agree. And what Eminem
Because at one point in
had-
time, Tiger Woods was the best golfer and he was black, and M was the best rapper and he was
Yes.
white.
And let me tell you to the world what I see when you say that. To blow up, you always need a co-signer,
Yes.
right? You need a co-signer. I'm gonna take you way back, probably before you was born. In 1968,
I was born in '68.
you said, yeah, so you don't see this. So.
I got a birthday of the week.
Yeah, 1968. A man named Berry Gordy, who ran Motown,
Yeah.
discovered a group called the Jackson 5.
Yep.
What Berry Gordy did was to blow the Jackson 5 up. And you can Google this, you go on the album I'm about to tell you. On the Jackson 5 first album, it says Diana Ross presents the Jackson 5. That was the first moment of my life I understood co-signing.
Oh, so they used Diana Ross, who already had a name, who was already established. So basically, she was co-signing for the Jacksons.
Exactly.
If I'm gonna put my name behind them, they got to be
They
good.
gotta be good. So now let's fast forward to Dr. Dre,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg,
Mm.
the whole Compton move. Dr. Dre co-signed Eminem.
Mm.
Dr. Dre already had the movement. If Dr. Dre touched it, you must be good.
Because he was the N.W.A. and then he had Snoop in the Chronic.
Exactly.
So he spoke
And Tupac.
yeah.
He had him. So this guy must be good. Now watch where I'm going. Get deeper.
I see where you finna.
That was his co-signer.
Yep.
Now, Eminem is a rock star. Eminem, Dr. Dre is still phenomenal. They find another gentleman named 50 Cent.
5-0.
Co-sign him.
Yep.
Co-signed him. And said to the world, hey, you may not know who this guy is, but we got the next superstar. So for 50 and Dr. Dre to co-sign 50 Cent, pow, it was rock stardom.
I read where Andre 3000, 3 Stacks, gave you some great advice.
Yes,
And
yes.
we're gonna talk about this a little later, but how to deal with your child's mom.
Yes, yes. I was having some issues, but most of us have as we're growing up. And I remember we was going to the airport because me and Outkast are good friends. Right, good friends. And one day it was like
Big
6
boy,
o'clock.
yeah.
Yeah.
I need one of them puppies.
Yeah. We 6 o'clock in the morning, we're going through the airport and me and him were talking. And I didn't know where to stay with my, you know how we all get when we have the kids, you don't want to leave the kid, you want to be there to raise your child because you think that's the right thing to do, especially when you're educated.
Right.
Because when you're educated, you don't want the woman that you have the children with to be a single mother.
Correct.
This is what you start saying that, I don't want to be a single mother. You know, you want to be, some women don't know that men think that way. We think that way to stay with the family because we don't want you to be a single mother and we don't want no one else to raise our child, but I want to be in my kid's life.
Let me tell you what a therapist told me one time. He said, Shannon, sometimes you can be in a relationship with a woman and while y'all together, you're a single man.
Yep, so true. So I told him that. And I remember this, and I share this with people, right? He said, TK, you got to choose which pain you want. That's what he said. You got to choose which pain you want. I didn't understand it. So one day, a great big situation happened. And it had to happen that way because I'm into quantum physics, I'm into the universe, I'm into God. And me and her had a big blowout. And it was the greatest thing that ever happened because I probably would have kept coming back if it wouldn't have happened that way. And I'm here to tell young men and women, sometimes it's good to go separate ways.
Right.
You think the kids want y'all to be together, and they probably do.
Right.
But sometimes it's best just to get away.
You better apart.
Yeah, best, and believe it or not, you'll live. You will grow. Right. You will become better, depending on your determination in life. You will educate yourself to become a better man, better woman. And I'm here today to say that because I've actually lived it. And that's why I always tell young men on social media, you could be 25, 29, 42, even in their 50s. And I said, there's nothing you could tell me. I'm damn near 70.
Right.
I'm here to tell you. Because I look young is a gift and a curse. If you don't know me, you think I'm this young kid talking. But I've seen it all. And the best thing sometimes is let your baby mama go on her way. You move on with your life. And the kid's going to love it down the line because they get 2 Christmases,
right.
2 birthdays.
Right.
It's a win.
Because sometimes, I mean, you try to stay to make it work, and all you do is argue. That's not good for the child.
It's so
true. You realize that, you get pushed away and you're not there every day, and that's not good for the child.
Yes.
So you're kind of dealing with basically a dilemma, 2 equally perplexing situations.
Yes.
If I stay, it's bad. If I go, it's bad. Damn.
Yep, it's crazy. I totally agree. And I actually lived it. And I can honestly tell people, everything the universe threw at me, I took it and built it brick by brick. And here I am today on Shannon Sharpe.
We appreciate you having
Yes, sir.
You also was on the, you toured with DMX. You opened for DMX.
Yeah, DMX is my man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, God bless him. To this day, DMX is the greatest solo rapper I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Nobody can touch him. If I had to go solo rap artist, it's DMX #1. Wow. Because he didn't have background dancers. It was just him, a jumpsuit, a rock wallet, dog collar, and a mic.
And some Timbs.
And some Timbs. He'll hop on the speakers. He'll run through the stage. He'll run through the audience. And I remember watching him. Today you appreciate it because when you're young, right. But when you get to our age, you go, wow, I was here for a special moment, and he was phenomenal. I would put as a solo artist DMX, as a duo, Busta Rhymes.
Really?
Listen to me.
Have you seen anybody since DMX have that kind of energy on stage as a rapper?
Not at all. Not at all. Even though I love what Atlanta is doing. They have their own movement, their own style. But it's just something about the people that came up in the 80s and 90s in rap that was just phenomenal. The DOC, Nelly, all these guys was just phenomenal. I mean, they paved the way for these kids today doing what they're doing, but DMX was amazing. And like I said, Busta Rhymes and them, nobody wanted to follow that dude. He was that good because he performed,
Right.
right? He performed. And then Oakland had Too Short,
Yeah.
and Too Short had what I call that street swagger that was missing in the world. Now, let's just say if Eminem and Dr. J would have co-signed Too Short,
right.
he'd have been a rock star.
Wow.
He would have been a rock star. But it's all based on marketing. It's all about if you got the machine behind you, and that's the difference in success.
Tupac and Biggie, you had a relationship with both of those guys, and you were with them days before they passed.
That's crazy. That's good you know that. Yeah, they died in different years.
Like a year apart. One is in 96 and the other was like March of 97. But very, very close.
Both. I've been blessed to be both sides of the game. Biggie and us was tight. Me, Lil Kim, even Puff. You know, before the freak offs.
Right.
You know, Puff, and I don't everybody know. Puff used to throw some of the best parties in the game in the early '90s. God bless him in his situation. What I've learned in life too, when people are in trouble, don't wish them well. Don't wish them bad. Just say, I wish that person the best, and thank God it ain't me. And you move on about it. Biggie, I was with him the day he died, but Tupac had died first.
Right.
And Tupac, me,
actually,
in Vegas. It was me, Tupac, Mike Tyson. We all hung out during that day. And after the fight, was going to the club. 6-6 was Suge was throwing a party. But my dumb butt, again, I was working out and I took some fat burner pills. Don't know why I'm not fat. I took fat burner pills. I'll never forget it.
Try to speed up your metabolism. That's it.
Took the fat burner pills, but I didn't know you couldn't drink alcohol with it. I drank alcohol later that afternoon. So as we're going to the party, I leave them because I'm not feeling good. Like whatever that fat burner did, it did something that I never experienced before. Because it was like you could actually feel it in your skin.
Yeah, skin
like
crawling.
Oh man, it was painful. I stayed in the hotel like a week. So I saw the Tupac thing on the news that he had got shot. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I said he's gonna be all right.
Right.
And when I started getting well, that's when I found out he had died. So I had to fly from Vegas to Charlotte to do a show. A year later, I'm hanging with Lady Note Blacknor, who was Puffy's assistant at the time. And we're hanging out, Biggie and all of us having a good time. I had a comedy show that night at the Comedy Act Theater that the guy Michael Williams owned.
Yeah.
And when we went to the party on La Brea, it was at the museum, I'll never forget, Biggie was like, TK, you better go do your show. But the party was amazing.
Right.
Oh, Shannon, this party that night was amazing.
In those situations, TK, did anything seem off? Did it seem like a normal Saturday or normal Friday or whatever the day the case may be? Did anything seem off or just seemed like a normal day?
It seemed like a normal day, but I saw all the street guys. I saw all the gang members there. Everybody was in suits though, right? I said, shit, this shit ain't gonna last. That's what I felt, right? So I wound up I'm always pulling women, snatched up 3 girls. We get in the whip and I go do my show.
Right.
But we're coming right back.
Right.
You know, I got a certain time I gotta be there. I'm gonna go on.
Do what you do, and I'm coming back.
As I'm coming back, coming down Wilshire, see all the police cars. And my man said, TK Biggie got shot. Nah, they can't get shot. I'm brushing it off.
Right.
I go hang out with Outkast because they're on Sunset Boulevard getting ready to do their album release. And I wind up hosting their party. After I'm hosting that party, I walk into this other room and I'm looking out on Sunset Boulevard. I'm just staring at it.
Right.
I said, maybe Biggie did get shot. Hopped in the car and something just told me to go to Sinai Hospital.
Cedar-Sinai.
Cedar-Sinai. And I walked up and Leote, shout out to Leote, I haven't talked to her in years. She said, Biggie died. I said, what? And I was just standing there. And I never got staying at this hotel in Culver City. And I went and called my mom and told her that Biggie had died. And the reason why I called my mother, because my brother died in 1995. But Biggie got shot on the day my brother's birthday. It was March 9th. So that was my brother's birthday, even though he was deceased already.
Right, yeah.
And I was talking to my mom about that. And that was the story. I've been in some crazy situations with people when they death. Even with my guy, father from the OJs.
Okay, yeah.
What's his name?
OJs, who's it?
His father's OJs, both of them passed away. Yeah, he said the beard, heavyset dude.
Oh, Levert?
Levert,
Yeah.
Gerald Levert.
Yeah.
Levert.
So me and the Gerald Levert's about to do a show. This years later. And Gerald Levert dies before the night before we do our concert. And I just never forget that, to see these gentlemen pass away in my journey of entertainment. And like I said, you've seen so much death that it affects everybody different.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's something that you said that was very important. I appreciate this shit because I've been doing this since I was burying people since I was 11. So I don't take nothing for granted. I know people can pull you away from it. People can really bring you down to their level and destroy your life. And what people need to understand is don't allow no one to destroy your life. You got to love yourself that much. And what David Klingman had taught me, he said, TK, you're not afraid of nothing. I said, what do you mean? He said, you're not afraid to go to jail. He said, you got to be afraid. He said, there's nothing wrong with being afraid. Be afraid that you don't end up there. And I've always took that for the rest of my life.
Are you surprised Biggie went to Cali, considering that he knew how the West Coast felt about East Coast and East Coast felt about West Coast, especially because, like you said, Tupac had just died. I mean, it wasn't even a year. I think Tupac died in like September, October, and here it was March, and Biggie is in Cali knowing how the West Coast felt about the East Coast.
It's called inexperience. When you don't know, you think everything's gonna be okay.
Everything, yep.
Right? So when my boy got locked up, saying that he was the guy with the situation behind Biggie getting killed, my partner, my street guy, Eric Von Zip, they said Puffy had gave Eric Von Zip $1 million, and Zip never gave it to the people to do the shooting, but the shooting happened.
Right.
So Eric Von Zip died, but they knew me and him was partners. So rumor on the street was I had got the $1 million.
Right.
Because me and him was tight. But I want everybody to know, I don't know nothing about no money. That was it.
You've also been featured on the album. You worked with Missy Elliott, Madonna, Gwen Stefani. And I want to ask you this, but when I go back and I think of Missy, I think of creativity.
Yes.
I think of the videos. I think she was ahead of her time.
Yep, she sure was.
I don't think she gets the credit that she deserves.
I totally agree.
And that's not a knock on anybody that's in the genre that she's in, but Missy was way ahead of her time.
So true.
She was futuristic.
Yep, absolutely.
She's 2085 and happened to be in the 90s, early 2000s when she was doing her thing.
I totally agree. She was creative in the videos. She was very unique, very creative, and I love that about her. I mean, all you can say is she was great. I mean, you have the female rappers today, and they're good. I'm not no knock nobody, but everything in the 90s when it came to hip hop was on a whole nother level. Whole nother level. And it's good to know. I'm glad to know I was part of it.
You know what I want? That's what I want to ask you. People say, like, somebody can do an album. Like, man, you do an album and you're really good, you have success, but I want to see him do something else.
Right.
He does something else. Man, I want the old guy back.
That's so true.
I mean, it's like
Human nature.
Yeah, it's like change. It's inevitable.
Yes.
And you see an actor, man, that's all he does is that. I want to see him do something else. And then when he or she does something else, man, I want them to see the old thing. So how do we get, because you see a lot of rappers, a lot of entertainers, be it R&B or whatever the case may be, they try to expand. Kudos to Beyonce.
Yes.
Because I don't know if I would have had to go country, which is so far away from the genre that she's in.
Totally agree.
And she says, I don't care.
Yes.
I'm going to do it.
Yes.
Do you understand the chutzpah, the courage that it takes to
totally
do
agree.
what she did? Because I don't know if I can honestly say I've seen someone do it to the level I'm here, but now I'm going to go way over here and get the acclaim and the adoration that she's been able to do.
And that's and you hit that right on the nail. Most people don't understand how hard that is to do, because it's impossible to do. And she's actually done it.
She's actually done it.
You know,
and the tour, I guess the tour has done 19 sold out shows, all the money that she's been able to accumulate.
Yes.
But I don't think she did it for the money. I think she strikes me as a woman that likes to challenge herself.
It seems that way. It definitely seems
You
that
got to
way.
like a challenge, TK, if you do that now.
Yeah, you have to. For her to go way country, amazing. It's truly amazing.
Yeah.
I met Beyonce a few times. Beautiful woman, stunning. And I'm glad Jay-Z pulled her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pulled her. Because a lot of people was after her.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember all of us hanging out. Aaliyah, Beyonce, Ananda Lewis, God bless Ananda. And I've seen everything from Lane in the cut, you know, because they used to always say, TK, you like the headline, because I always kept a bad breathing on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they was like, who is TK? Because I always kept a fine woman.
One, huh?
I kept one. Kept one. No doubt about it.
Let me ask you a question, TK, because you've been at, like you said, you've been at this thing since the 80s. What happened to the music video? You know, like the music video was
yes.
Man, and Missy, we go back to Missy.
Totally
I miss the days of MTV or whatever the case, BET. When I saw the music, I get excited, the song, and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to
premieres.
I can't wait
Remember
to
that?
see. Yes, I
World
can't wait to
premiere.
see what this video is gonna be. What happened to the music video?
AI. AI changed the game. They started in the music business. So many executives lost their job. They cut down the budgets. Now they want artists to be pretty much famous before they take you on.
Right.
Because social media, YouTube, they want to know how many YouTube followers you have, how many songs got played. It's big numbers, right? So nobody wants to work no more. Nobody wants to, even it's just not the.
Well, if I build it up, I don't really need you. If I'm gonna build my YouTube channel, I'm gonna build up my social media, my IG, my Twitter, my Threads, or whatever the case may be, TikTok. Why the hell I need you if I got all this? If I got across the board, I got 30 million. Why do I need you?
I respect what you're saying, but most men don't think the way you think or I think. They think they need someone. And in today's world, you don't need a co-signer. Today, you got your phone. Today, you can really market yourself.
Okay.
NBA Youngboy is the prime example of what I'm saying. Multi-millionaire. And he doesn't need nobody. And you don't see hardly no videos. The only thing he has his own personal problems.
Right.
But he was very successful at it. So when people come to me and say, TK, what do you think? Man, I'm trying to get on. I said, why are you trying to get signed? I said, you could do it do it yourself. Though. You know, I had wanted to do Netflix, and I still do want to do it because the people are so brainwashed. They think to make it, you have to be on Netflix. But I have my own network called TK.network.
Well, I mean, you saw what Alex Sadiq did. You saw what Ernest J. Some people are just doing it and going to YouTube. So you can do that. Look, I think Netflix is a wonderful platform. They do an unbelievable job.
Yes.
But I think the thing is now in today's time, you can
do it yourself. Okay. And you cut out the middleman. You know what your cover of your project is going to be.
Yeah.
You know the date that you want to release it. That's important to me.
Right.
Because one thing, I've never had an agent, never had a manager.
Really?
Never. I've done everything on my own. And I just don't like the fact you have to call someone and wait for them to call you back. Or someone to say they're out of the country, or someone to say they're doing something when what you're about to ask them is only gonna take 30 seconds.
Right.
But because they took a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month, you get frustrated. I never liked that. So when I've always been my own man, so when I snatched up D.L. Hughley, when I snatched up Godfrey, when I snatched up Mike Epps, Sandra Bullock, I taught all of them the game, you know? Because I was in the streets, I had to really stay low key because my partners, Tommy Chesterow and David Klingman, two Jewish guys who love them very dearly. I was confused, young kid. They pretty much said, TK, you got to fall back because you about to fuck up our money. That's what they say, because you don't know what you want to do yet,
Right.
but you ain't going to fuck up our money. Right? So, but he said, TK, this is going to be the easiest money you'll ever make in your life. But nothing got done unless they ran it past me. That's what I liked about these gentlemen. So everything from Sandra Bullock, you know, when we did
You had a nice little cut of Sandra for like 2 decades.
And not just her, I had Anthony Michael Hall.
Wow.
John Lucasamo. All these guys on the artistry management. But because of me going through what I was going through at that time, I had to stay low key, but I was still getting a check. Right? So it teaches you things, but I've always taught independence. I always taught ownership. Just like you running your own podcast. You're your own boss. And we want to show men and women to put themselves in position to be your, I hate that somebody got to say to someone, I got to speak to my boss on Tuesday, see if I can make my son's graduation.
Right.
No disrespect. No man to me should have to live like that. That's just me.
Well, I think the thing is, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as talent or you see yourself as ownership?
That's so
because
true.
in talent, they cut you a check. In
Right.
ownership, you do collabs.
Well, one rule I got, I sign the front of the check.
Yeah. Yeah, my name is in the top left.
Yes, I sign the front of the check. That's something that I truly believe in. I sign the front of the check.
TK, when you came up, comedians, basically you had to hit the circuit. You're black, you probably started out on the Chitlin circuit and you go to these little small clubs. Maybe there was 20, 30 people in there piling and you get 10 minutes and you keep it moving. You do probably 15, 20 shows a week.
Yes.
Because you're just trying to make it.
So true.
Now you see comedians, they can get on and do a skit on social media and blow up just like that.
That's so true.
It is so different now
Totally agree.
than what it was then. What do you like now about this the new comedians? What is it? Because I mean, I get different results. I mean, some like, yeah, it's easy to do a skit and it's easy to be good for a year, but can you be good in year 5?
Yes, true.
Can you be year good
That's
in year
true,
10,
I can see that.
15, 20, 30?
I look at it from an entrepreneur thing. I believe that things change, right? Jake Paul in boxing.
Yeah.
Right?
What he and his brothers doing.
Same in comedy, right? You created a gimmick and you won. At the end of the day, I always tell people, when you're in line at the bank, the teller doesn't care how you got your money. You could be a hoe. You could be a thief.
Yeah, because it all look the same. It's green.
All look the same. So everybody gets their money a different way.
Correct.
I respect what happened for them. Wish them the best. I'm on the other side of the mountain. So I'm not really, I don't care about certain things, right? I just live life. I see things change. I just know that I took care of me. I look amazing for my age, right? I'm healthy. I go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I don't go to the doctor once a year. I go to the doctor every 4 months.
Yeah.
Because I don't want nothing catch me slipping. Like, I'm that kind of man. Right? So it's good to see it. And I wished all the comics.
You like me, TK. Anything start to feel bad, man, ain't nothing wrong with you. I want the doctor to tell me ain't nothing wrong with me. Not you.
That's right.
You ain't got no medical license.
I ain't got no game. I love life, Shannon, so much that I don't play with it. Right? I beat the odds, like I told you off air. I really love this, yo. I love life. And I'm not gonna let nobody take it away from me. I'm not gonna let nobody pull me down to their level of disrespect. Because I've been in jail. I've been, my life almost taken away. I told the story years ago. One time I got locked up in LA and Didn't care about it now, but it's interesting today. The Menendez brothers is in my chamber.
Ooh, damn.
We was in protective custody.
Okay.
See, most people think you're a punk if you're in protective custody. But what LA does is if you're famous, you go there because they don't want to deal with general population.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Menendez brothers, Rick James, Tupac, and me. All in the same cell that week.
Mm.
So you could still hear other people talk. And what they said to me, this is hilarious, y'all. It's kind of sad at the same time. They said, TK, tell us a joke. Because, Rick James really loved me.
Right.
And I said, I ain't telling no joke, I'm fighting the case. Right?
They ain't trying to be funny.
Listen to me, do you know them motherfuckers booed me? In LA County, I'll never forget it. I'm talking about, it had to be 200-something people booed me, yo. It was like the Garden. It was that loud. Boo! I'll never forget. And I wound up telling some joke, and they loved it, and I'll never forget that. That was.
You got to be the only ninja that got booed in jail.
Got booed, dog. Booed, and I mean that. Got booed. Wow.
How did you meet Mike Epps?
Mike Epps, I love that gentleman. When I was touring, I used to go in the clubs, and right before I would go on, I always sat in the back and watched comics. Now, my blueprint was Eazy-E and those guys because Eazy was an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I had a different style of comedy. And I needed comics that I was gonna bring on to get them in TV and film to help pave the way. And I was gonna be the slingshot come right behind them.
Right.
Right? That was my goal. So I watched Mike Epps for a year, and I felt like he wasn't ready. When I came back the following year, I saw him again. It was him and a gentleman named Nard. They both were good. Nard was somebody, he's deceased now.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a choice. I wanted to see which person I was gonna pick. And I talked to Mike Epps. I said, yo, come meet me in New York. He believed it. I got him in New York. Stayed at my business manager's apartment, and boom, the rest is history. And he went on to be very, very, very successful.
Yep.
And I've known Mike for so long, and just to see his achievements is just a blessing. So that's pretty much how I met Mike. It was at the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Atlanta, Georgia, way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Like 1990, 1991.
It seems to be a lot of natural, the progression as a comedian starts on stage and then he goes into the movies.
Yes.
Richard Pryor, you
Yes.
saw Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
I mean, there have been so many.
Yes.
Who is it? Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac,
And
Kevin
we
Hart.
see Kevin Hart.
Yes.
We see Ced the Entertainer.
Yes.
Even Cat Williams.
Cat did a few films.
there have been so many.
Yes.
DL had a
TV sitcom.
had a TV. Yeah.
Yep, sure did.
Is that something that is that a natural progression? Is that you see guys because you're used to performing, you can perform in front of 1,000, 2,000,
Yes.
5,000 people. You definitely can perform in front of a camera, in front of an audience, 200 people.
Easy. Two things. One, I never cared.
Mm-hmm.
I had this philosophy. I pretty much taught those guys the game, and I had a choice. When you go for an audition, somebody's about to make a choice on your life.
Mm-hmm.
They have to like you.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all these people that everybody's auditioning for the same spot, I never wanted to be a part of that competition.
Really?
Never. My thing was, what's real? What's real was doing a show and the money was in my hand.
Mm.
This was a maybe. I got to get somebody to like me, right? It's levels to entertainment.
Right.
Then let's say you get the gig. You have to do a pilot. Now the executives of the company have to like you to give you a green light.
Mm.
Then if you get on air, you have to hope that the Midwestern and the rest of the country, because it's all about ratings.
Correct.
Do the rest of the country likes you? I couldn't put my life in those people's hands.
You want instant money. I get on the stage, hand me my check, hand me my cash or check however I'm going to pay.
And I'm more successful than the people who have done TV and film.
Wow.
See, the illusion is that everybody thought because you saw such in a movie or such as a TV show that they was rich, but I bet it on me.
Right.
Every day. I may not have done what Kevin Hart's and most comics have done. And most comedians most people in this country and world who don't have a high comedy IQ, that's how they base success.
Right.
You have to be on TV. I went for the bread. I knew how to do stocks. I knew how to save. And it paid off. So when I talk to certain people, I say, yo, you a millionaire? What do you mean? I said, dog, I know you a millionaire.
Mm.
I'm not gonna say what I got, but I know I got an M behind my name.
Wow.
I know I got an M, right? I know I got an M. And it's not, and one thing I've learned in life is not how much you make, it's how much you keep.
Yeah.
See, I floss a little bit and I got a little stuff I put
I mean, just
save.
enough. I mean, because here's the thing. I mean, you work hard. I mean, look, we didn't come to stay.
That's so true.
Everybody gonna leave. My girl used to tell that boy, we ain't come to stay now.
Yep, that's right.
I'm not gonna be frivolous.
Yes.
But I think I should enjoy myself.
You gotta enjoy yourself.
Because guess what? You know what you noticed? Once I got into position, TK, and I want to know what you think about this.
Okay.
Is that I started to notice people enjoy your money more than you.
They damn sure do.
So while I'm sitting here saving, I can't buy this and I can't do that. I promise you, when you go from here and you leave it to somebody else, they gonna enjoy it.
They're gonna enjoy it. And that's why I teach my kids respect money.
Yes.
And my business partner, David Claman, used to always say, TK, don't you get old and be broke.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
He said, don't you get old and be broke. And I want people to listen to what I'm saying. It's not a good look.
Mm-mm.
You play with your life all you want. All you camera people, all y'all listening, people that's gonna be watching. And it's worse now.
Yeah. Because it ain't gonna be no Medicaid, ain't no Medicare.
Yeah, it's worse now. It's we about to see something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you older men.
Yeah.
We about to see something we've never seen before. Right. And it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't respect money,
right.
If you didn't respect your health,
mm-hmm.
you're done. I don't know how to say it. I read a lot, and over 80% of this country don't even have $5,000 in their bank account.
I read that. I saw that.
You saw that, right?
Yeah. What was like if you have like 10,000 and no debt, you're in like the top 80%, 85% of the country.
10,000.
10,000 with no debt.
It's insane. And we can't save the world,
no.
Right? Hurts me sometimes. Yeah. I'm being honest, right? Yeah. Sometimes I wish I could do something for everybody, right? I wish I had Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos' money and I would give everybody a check, but that's not the world we live in.
Then you wouldn't have Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, but
I do. But you like me. You like I'm like that, TK.
Yeah,
because I got a heart, and I hate to see people struggling. Like,
but I can't save all of y'all,
everybody,
man. And we live in a world of social media. Everybody lies. People get on my social media. Some women like, I got 3 kids. I need blah blah blah, and you don't know whether to believe them because so many people lie.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to I don't want to get played, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if I take it deep, I'm like, yo, you had sex to 3 men, and you're struggling. Your choices is bad.
So the likelihood you probably was struggling with the first one.
Exactly.
And then you put yourself back in that situation for the second one.
So men of our caliber, we don't like to make decisions like that. Like I don't want to be in that situation. All I could do is just pray for that. Some men reach out to me hating.
Right.
You know, who are you and all this. And I'm at the movies now. He got a text. A dude out of nowhere was F you. And because of
Why
my
you mad
nature,
at you?
Exactly. I said, how is it in that small apartment? I said, how you doing in that small apartment?
Right.
Like, I had to mess with him. I don't know you. I don't know you. And to the people listening,
He's mad at you for a situation
yeah,
he
don't be
created.
mad at me because I worked through my thing. One dude talk about you, we don't care about you. You don't represent the struggle. I don't want to have nothing to do with the struggle.
Yeah, but I struggled.
I struggled.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm close to 70. I want all of you people to work hard and make it. I promise you, because it's a beautiful thing when you overcome and achieve. Like I told some gentlemen that you don't become a man until you're 42 years old. And one dude said, I'm a man now at 29. And when I said, you got to be in your 50s and 60s to look back. You got to have that much mileage in life.
You got to have some distance.
To see when you became a man.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't a man at 29.
Yeah.
You might be responsible. You might have kids, you might have bought a home.
Haven't lived long enough.
Haven't lived long enough. You got to be in our age bracket to look back, to know when that happened.
But you know, a lot of times people see where we are and not where we came from.
That's so true.
And I said something, I was on Nightcap with Ocho, and I said, you never judge a man by where he's standing because you don't know how far he's come.
That's so true.
So you look at somebody that's laying on the street, but yesterday he was under the bridge.
So true.
So while you judge me from where I am, do you know where I've come from?
Mm-hmm.
You look at you say, well, he's a failure. No, there's just delayed success.
Yes, right.
I'm on a success story.
Yes.
And so I think the thing is, and people get upset, oh, you got this, you got that. But do you see from 1968 to 1988, when I didn't have that?
That's right. And it's all the old game, right? Remember we was coming up and we saw the older men and women successful?
Yeah.
And they worked hard. You saw Mr. Williams and he's opened the door for his wife, but we just went to church. He got the nice coat on and the nice slacks. And you could tell he's walking with success. He earned it.
Right.
See, when hip hop came around, nothing wrong with hip hop, it changed the mindset of the world. Everybody thought you can get successful overnight. But in the old day, most millionaires are created in their 60s, 50s and 60s.
Right.
If you can get money in your 20s and 30s, I'm happy for you, but it's a
Make
curse.
sure you keep it in the 40s and 50s.
Here's the curse. When I saw the R. Kellys, the Puffy Combs, most young singers and rappers who got rich in their 20s, it created ego. And the ego all came back to bite them in their ass when they became a man. When I saw people success come later because they truly earned it, you see character, respect, honor. Most people don't have that. And that's why we have the issues that we have from Suge to Puffy to R. Kelly, right? Because their ego got in the way and it destroyed them. And I've seen it even when people's hustling, when they came into money, it messed up their ego and destroyed them. And if you take your time, you may not seem like you could do it now, but one day you will be 60-something years old. And if you take care of yourself, you won't be a fat old slob or old guy. You'll still have some type of health, right? But
at least you hope you can be 60.
You hope you can be 60.
Promised.
That's not promised to you. We know this. It ain't promised.
Yeah, because everybody got an appointment they can't reschedule.
That's right.
You just don't know when it is.
That's right. But all you can do with the universe is extend your contract. So you take care of your health. The universe wants to see you win. And if you do right, they'll extend you another few weeks or another 365, right? That's how I see the universe.
Right.
They want to see you win. You are the person sabotaging your life.
Right. If you could recreate any decade, and you're like you're 60, so you've been around for 6 decades.
Mm-hmm.
If you can recreate any decade, what decade would you recreate?
Now,
right now?
Yes, sir. Because all the things I went through, when I was coming up, people, think you was a bad person. You think you was on the wrong path of life.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to be my age and you understand the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
The universe sent me here to teach me these lessons. And you can't teach nobody nothing if you ain't been through nothing.
Right.
So everything I went through made me the man I am today. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm independent. Kids have graduated from college, I got grandkids. I live to see that.
Right.
You understand what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I live to see it. People who are watching us, they won't make it to that.
Right.
Or they have grandchildren already at a young age, but there's nothing like it, the way it really supposed to go. You're supposed to get your grandkids in your 50s and 60s,
Mm-hmm.
not at 30, not at 40.
Right.
Right? It's just being
Right.
honest,
Mhm.
right? Because you want to have so much wisdom and knowledge that you can teach your grandchildren something. If you're having grandkids in your 40s, you're going to pretty much, they're going to see the nonsense that you still have in your life. And that's just not, I don't agree with that.
You met early in your career Keenan, Richard Pryor, Prince. What was it like to meet? I mean, they weren't at the level that they became, so
Mhm.
you got them in their early years.
Yes.
And to see Keenan Ivory Wayans and to see what he created with In Living Color,
Mhm.
and you see him, him and Robert Townsend
Yes.
writing, and you see what he's been able to do with his brothers, Marlon and Sean and Damon. You see Richard Pryor goes without saying, and Prince, the way he could write,
Yes.
could play all the instruments, could
Mhm.
entertain. He's one of one, and we might not ever see anything
I
like that
totally
again.
agree, 100%. Totally agree.
Did you understand that you were in the presence of greatness then?
No, you took it for granted because we didn't know.
Right.
Because we were kids,
Right.
right? Prince was a phenomenal guy. Saw his career take off. But Prince used to have a club in Minnesota that he used to do comedy shows because he was a big fan of comedy and loved TK. I'm just I get excited when I have these interviews because I start thinking about what I've accomplished.
Right.
Shit is amazing.
Did he have the club before Glam Slam or First Ave?
After.
Okay.
After. And he was just amazing. I remember being in the studio and he had like 20 pieces of equipment. He'd go to each one and set it up.
Yeah.
You don't, that's impressive now.
Right.
Back then you just think that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to,
Yeah. It's insane. When you talk about Richard Pryor, I was getting my master's degree at Cal State Northridge in California. I lived on Parthenia Avenue. I lived 2 doors from Richard Pryor. Wow. Didn't even know it at the time. He lived 2 doors down from me. I was on a track scholarship, so they had me in this beautiful home on Parthenia, and got to meet Richard Pryor down the line. And me being crazy, I always used to say, I wish I could have saw him running down Parthenia on fire, right? Because I would have told him I needed a certain amount of money. I'd throw this water on him. That was almost my inside joke. Right. I wish I saw him on fire so I could bargain with him to get a few dollars. Crazy story. Right. And Keenan to this day is the Kennedys of comedy. I'll say the Kennedys and the Jackson 5. Yeah. He understood the game. Right. He took care of his family.
Mm-hmm. He put all of them on. Damon,
Marlon, last
Shannon,
one.
Sean, Kim.
Yes, every last one, which was phenomenal. And when you grow up in a family, you see brothers and sisters arguing, you think that might be the way the world's supposed to be. Mm-mm. And then it's the Wayans. Mm-hmm. And they show you how family is supposed to take care of each other. Absolutely. Because of Keenan, mostly all of them are millionaires. Mm-hmm. Because of Keenan, most of them have a job. Mm-hmm. And I seen it all. right? And I haven't seen Keenan in years, but he put me in I'ma Get You Sucker.
Yeah.
He put me in I'ma Get You Sucker. And I wasn't really doing stand-up at that time, but he liked me as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Townsend put me in The Black, the Bold, the Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
He loved me as a comedian. I played the butler in The Black, the Bold, the Beautiful. And sit here talking to you, Shannon, I'm just so thankful about what I've accomplished.
Because I think the thing is, like, when you're an athlete or you're anything, and you have success, I don't know if you really get an opportunity to enjoy it while you're in it.
I totally agree.
Because you don't want it to go away, so I got to stay focused on this.
Yes.
And then when you're done, and as you get older, you get into your 40s, and the career is starting to dwindle down, and you're not doing it as much. You get into your 50s or 60s, you're still doing comedy, and hopefully you can continue it for as long as you want.
Yes.
But sometimes, like when you're in stuff, I really never appreciated my career when I was in it, because I was too caught up in it, and I was so afraid that it might go away.
Yes.
So I didn't get an opportunity to enjoy it. Like, man, I won a Super Bowl, or I did this, or I did that. Now I get an opportunity to look back, 20 plus years after my career, and I was like, damn, I guess I was okay. I guess I did okay.
That's so true. It's a beautiful feeling, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful feeling. And people always want to know when I'm getting married. That's been this big thing with me,
when you
Shannon.
get married.
I'm going to say it on your show. I've been married now for over 30 years.
Oh, you married to the game of comedy, huh?
I'm married to the almighty man God.
Oh, okay.
That's who I'm married to.
Right.
So I still have my fun.
Yeah.
I got somebody who I love.
Right.
That I give a PDD to. You know what PDD is?
No.
A proper dick down. Because when people on social media, they're like, oh, you're going to die alone and all that.
Yeah.
And I tell people, I got news for you. You're going to die by yourself anyway.
Right, yeah.
Ain't nobody jumping in there with you.
Yeah, like, nah,
people are crazy.
Take me.
Yeah. People is insane with that,
Right.
So, I'm all right, Shannon.
Yeah.
I'm on Shannon Sharpe, yo. Listen to me. I predicted I was gonna be on your show 3 years ago.
I appreciate you taking time to come on it.
3 years ago, I was telling my team, they said, TK, we need you to do Shannon Sharpe. I said, calm down. That's how I always move. Calm down. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's in the universe already. And it has to come natural. Because if we go after it, we ain't gonna get it.
Right.
Y'all called me.
Yes.
Which was beautiful.
Yeah.
And when a team calls you, you know you want it.
Yes.
And I always tell people, go where you celebrate it, not tolerate it.
Correct.
And you're celebrating me. And it's a difference.
Right. Eddie and Charlie. You met them, you
Yes. And I knew it was coming, but let me share it with you. All I could say with the Charlie Murphy situation, because everybody thought it was Eddie Murphy.
Right.
But it's really Charlie Murphy. All I could say, I never got a chance to apologize to Charlie because he had died.
So you were a klepto back then?
No, I wasn't a klepto. I was just doing stupid shit.
You were just a thief, huh?
No, I was just doing stupid shit.
Yeah. Why you take the man Rolex, TK?
I was just doing stupid shit. It was a bad thing. I was 19 years old, 20 years old.
So how long had you known him, Charlie?
I didn't know him that long at all.
Damn, TK.
Yeah, it was a bad situation.
And you made it. I mean, you went to jail for a couple of times. But I'm saying, you made it to be 66. You really blessed. I see why you turned your life over to the man.
That's right.
God, you like, hold on. I'm living foul out here.
No.
Did you think about it at the time, like, cause like when you doing stuff, TK, you don't really think bad stuff's gonna happen. Like,
no, I agree.
You don't really think about it, and then you get back and look back, like, damn.
But I was crazy when I was young.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Using them streets.
Yeah, people don't know that. I've given so many people a pass over the last 10 years that things have happened. They have no idea the kind of man I used to be. But
that grew out of you, or the man that you are now. So is it like, you're like, you know what, you're at peace now with who you are?
Yes.
Obviously you say you're a man of God, and you know, talking a little bit off, I can see that in you. So you think that's what it is?
I think you grow up
And everything don't got to be
mature.
solved with violence, huh?
Yeah, everything has to be solved with violence. And what you learn in life is they got a place for you.
Yeah.
You can be tough all you want.
They can break
They
you.
got a place. And they broke me.
Really?
Yeah, they broke me because I was on probation for like 20 years.
Damn.
Yeah, so you understand. But not in one state. I would get in trouble in one state. They give me 5 years.
It moved to another one.
Then I get in trouble in another state. They give me 5 years.
Damn.
So after 20 years, I had submitted. I understood because they wasn't playing. They wasn't playing. And I got in trouble with Puffy in 1998. It was
What happened with that situation?
I had robbed Puffy. And
Really, TK?
yeah, Doug, I told you I was crazy. And the judge Margaret at that time, she wasn't playing. And Margaret was like, she didn't care about Puffy. What she cared about was how did he get away with all the other shit? That was her concern. She wasn't playing. Because you know, when you look at somebody's record,
Rare.
she's seeing like I should have been locked up years ago.
Right.
How did he get to me? That means somebody wasn't doing their
Doing
job.
their job.
That's
So
how
now
she felt.
she's gonna make sure she do her
She
job.
gonna do her job. And I could tell she was not playing. So I out-finessed her, right? I told you I'm smart. I out-finessed her ass.
What you say? You know, you fell on the mercy of the court. Say, hey.
I out-finessed her. I got the best attorneys. But when I say out-finesse, the universe wants to see you win.
Right.
So I tell you the story. I don't think I told it on nobody else's show. When I got arrested for the Puffy situation, they was already looking for me, right? I was on the news and all that.
Damn.
It was bad. It was bad, yo. It was bad. My mother was embarrassed. You know, once you embarrass your mom.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I was supposed to have a surrender date because I still had money. I was just doing dumb stuff.
Right.
Right? I was rich, but I was doing stupid stuff. So basically what I see now, I don't think I wanted success. I think I was sabotaging myself. That's the only way I could look at it. I didn't want that. I was rich, but for some reason I didn't want to be richer.
Yeah, you
Does
know
that make
what?
sense?
Yeah, it does, because I had Damon Wayans on the show, and he said Keenan always tells the younger generation of the Wayans family, nieces and nephews, told his younger brothers, he said, you were born on the road to success. Why would you want to take a detour?
So true.
You had money. Why would you want to detour and do bull jive?
Yeah, but sometimes you got to go through it. And like I said, the universe, remember I said?
Yeah.
When you get older, the universe wants you to go through these things because you're now a model to teach other people don't make the mistake. That's what you learn when you get in your 60s.
Yes.
You don't understand it when you're younger. When you're younger, you just fucking up.
And you know what, TK, I learned? Sometimes when you're younger, people won't listen to you because they don't feel you've had enough experience.
So
Once
true.
you get to your 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, people are like, you know what? He probably been through some things.
If I was gray and came in here with a cane, people would respect what I'm saying that
They
much
absolutely
more.
would.
But I took care of myself.
Right.
So like, nah, they don't know what he's talking about, right?
Yep, you're right.
So with the Puffy thing, and this is how I could share with the world on how bad they always wanted Puffy. See, even in 1998, New York didn't like him.
Really?
Oh, man.
But he OG, I mean, Puffy, he born and raised there.
Let me tell you, I'm about to rock your world. So I catch my case, and I had a surrender date, but I don't turn myself in for 3 months.
Damn.
I'm on the road getting my money. I told you almost about my money.
Yeah.
And but the FBI coming to all my locations, houses and shit. So I finally come in, I got my attorneys with me, and we walk in, we surrender ourselves. And they put me in the tombs. And normally when you get the tombs, it takes like a whole day to get out. I think I had the record, like I had my attorneys, everything was set. We walked in and we was out of jail. I bailed out like in less than 3 hours.
Wow.
Right, so I'm eating at the Shark Bar in Manhattan. Lobster
Shark Bar used to be bumping back in the day.
Exactly. You remember the Shark Bar?
Yeah. The way they had one in
I'm
Atlanta.
on the 10 o'clock news. I'm sitting there eating, And I see myself on the 10 o'clock news, and everybody's looking like they talking about him, but he's right here.
here.
So I got my crew from up in Harlem. We all down there eating. Man, people are mad at me. You know, I gotta admit, they mad at what I've done. You know. So I fight the case for a while, and then I wind up getting ready to take a plea deal because I had a thing called predicate felon on my jacket. Predicate felon is you caught a felony within a year. Another
felony after they already committed one.
Mandatory 4 to 6 in New York. No negotiation, 4 to 6. So during that time, I fly to Vegas and I'm gambling with some powerful people. And the guy named is Tony Capitello and Frank Nato. You got to Google them, from Long Island, powerful attorneys. And I explained to them what my situation is. And they knew who I was. They said, TK, we need you to do us a favor. And I was able to help them out.
Right.
So they came to represent me. And when they came to represent me, I told him, I said, listen, don't come to this court late. I said, because this judge don't play.
Right.
And I said, you gotta be there at 9. So we stayed in touch for 3 months. He finally came. He gets to court at 11:30.
Dang, 2 hours, 2.5?
He got caught in traffic coming from Long Island, but
everybody know that. I mean, it's from Long Island to the city.
You already know what's up.
Yeah.
But Margaret didn't care. Judge Margaret, she sent me to Rahway State Prison.
In Jersey.
In Rahway. Not Rikers Island.
Right. Okay, Rikers. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rikers Island. So I'm in there for 30 days because I took my deal off the table. Because I took a deal. I was going to do 4 to 6. I was going to turn myself in. But when I came to court, I took the deal off the table. During that time, now here's how the universe rocks with you. Puffy catches a case for Shine and Jennifer Lopez.
Yep. Firearm charge.
The same people that wanted to lock Puffy up comes to Rikers to want me to testify against Puffy Combs and lie and say I saw him with the gun. So they said, my attorney was like, TK, you want to help out the prosecution? Me being smart, I said, tell them to get me out of here. We could talk about it. So they don't take me out of jail, but they take me from Rikers, bring me back down to the Tombs.
Okay.
They come down, and the COs know me, and they see the FBI and everything. They're like, yo, wow, all these people here. They got the FBI jackets on. Shit look crazy.
Yeah.
So they take me downstairs. I'm in the sedan, and we zooming through Manhattan to go to the club that Puffy had the shooting. So they wanted you, they didn't tell you what to say. They wanted you to read between the lines. Jennifer Lopez was here, Sean was here, Puffy was here, and you were right here? Like I'm putting...
Yeah, I was right there,
I was right there. Exactly what the fuck I was saying. I'm right the fuck here. But during the time I'm ordering food, they paying for it. I'm getting lasagna, I'm getting, 3 days, I'm eating the best food.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
So after 3 days, my attorneys come see me, and they say, hey, they want to know if you're going to help them, because they're getting ready to go to the grand jury.
Right.
And they want me to testify in the grand jury against Puff. And I looked at my attorneys, and I said, nah, tell them I'm okay. I'm all right. Then fuck with them.
You done got a belly, ate the people food, got they good, drank good, some good.
That was my move. That was my move. So I wound up getting 5 years probation. That was the last state that I got in trouble with. No, California after that. But by the time the last one, I got the last 5 years probation. Very successful. It's in California. It was a domestic violence case with my daughter's mother. I had a little issue. So I'm at work release, and but I'm still living like a king. I'm putting a couple guys that's on working with, I put them through college. I put them through DeVry. It's not a major school, but I'm paying their way through DeVry. Before Uber Eats was out.
Right.
When you were being on the highway and picking trash and all that, lunchtime I would order food and have the people restaurants, bring the food to me and my crew.
Right.
We eating on the side of the highway, we eating in the park, living it, you know? But I'm still living like TK. I'm
Right.
still that player. I know that I messed up. I'm gonna get through this. This has taught me a lesson. I'll never forget. I'm in San Bernardino Park. I'm picking up trash, and I'm still famous.
Right.
People still want to take a picture. So I got the yellow jacket on and the tweezer thing to
Right.
pick up the trash,
Right.
taking pictures with people.
Right.
But it taught me a lesson, Shannon. And when I got through it, I tell people the thing I wish for people the most is peace of mind. Once you know what peace of mind tastes like and you lose it, you'll fight forever to get it back.
For sure.
You will fight to get it back. And I fought my whole life to get it because I knew what it tastes like. I knew what it felt like. And I wasn't going to let nothing else stand in my way of getting that feeling of being your own man.
Being free.
Being free is one of the greatest emotions any man or woman can have, is that peace of mind. And once I achieved it, I made a promise to myself that I would never give that up for nobody.
Help me understand. Tory Lanez is in jail, and he ended up getting stabbed 14 times. How is he in G-pop?
He's trying to be something that he's not. Some guys think they tough, and
No, that's a whole different animal. That's a different
Listen,
world in there. That's a jungle. That's the Serengeti.
Thank you, sir. You understand. It's not about being tough. Some of those guys in there are the most manipulative, clever people you ever imagine. Just like, it's just human nature, right? Somebody don't like you because they see you on TV. Somebody don't like me, right? Never met us before in our life, but they just don't like you.
Right.
That's just their nature. If he's in there, he's in general population, you never know what people are feeling towards you.
Right.
You never know if somebody just wants to kill you. And that's what happened with him. You gotta do things in life to protect you. I've learned to fly like an eagle. What I've learned about that, because me and you read a lot, you understand what I'm saying? Crows attack eagles. Did you know that? And the way
They got a memory. You do something to them, they remember.
They remember. And what crows do, what eagles do, they don't fight you. You know what they do? They rise.
Right.
And the higher they go, the altitude
It's too high
knocks
for
off for the crows. So what I did was, I rose. And all the crows I left behind. So I don't put myself in situations. I don't hang around certain people. I've always been independent, moved by myself anyway.
Yes.
But I do it in a strategic way now. So when I'm in Burkina Faso, when I'm in Berlin, when I'm in Spain, when I'm in Paris.
They had it on the no fly. They're on the no do not enter
Yeah.
list.
But I'm living.
Yeah.
Because I'm not walking the streets in America, right? And I achieve things a lot of people, because 80% of the population still haven't been on the plane. See, when we fly, we think it's nothing.
Right.
80% of the population have not been on a plane. So there are people who are alive, but they haven't lived. And I lived.
Wow. You were part of the Scared Straight program.
Y'all been going deep.
So you wanted the actors in there like, you want to come
No,
in?
this is way before then.
Really?
This is the original Scared
So
Straight.
there were actually programs where they would
In the 70s.
Wow.
Yeah. This is down the line. This is when I was there when it first started.
So they would bring kids that were getting in trouble and like, look, if you go and you was in there, it's like,
Yes,
son, you don't
yes.
want to come here.
Yeah.
I can tell right now, this ain't the place for you.
Yes. And guys bigger than you.
Yeah.
I saw them in booty shorts.
Huh?
Dresses, shirt tied up.
Yeah.
With the
bandana
wrapped around like a woman.
Yeah.
Scariest shit I've ever seen in my life, yo. So all these kids out here shooting, thinking that they tough.
That's a different animal in there, huh?
You understand? Here's the worst thing about getting locked up. One of the worst things of getting locked up is when you go through processing and they give you underwear to put on, and you know maybe 5,000 people had that on.
Oh, they don't give you no new drawers?
Nah, dog.
They don't let you get your own Fruit of the Loom Hanes?
Nah.
So you wearing drawers somebody else had on?
That's my point.
Damn.
Yeah. Humiliating, is it?
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this ain't the place for me. I ain't coming back here.
And they think it's a game. The whole system is set up to lock you up, but you got to take accountability. Because people are like, oh, they wanted to put us in jail. You ain't doing that. They can't put nothing on you.
They can't put no jail.
Yeah, that's just facts.
Right.
You gotta, I always say, if you want to put the police out of jail, stop doing crime.
Yeah. Put them out of business.
Put them out of business. You give them a job.
Right.
Yeah, it's a rough situation.
So when the kids come in there, what was your pitch to them? The kids come in there, I guess they're between the ages of 10 and 15.
No, I was the guy.
Oh, that was you.
I would go in, I was
so you
young.
were the one they was trying to scare you straight.
Yeah, they was trying to scare me straight.
I thought you was, okay.
No, they're trying to scare me straight. And it worked. Like, I mean, I wasn't a trouble guy, right? It's just that I didn't get in trouble until I went to college. I had never been in trouble before in my life. And I just went down a path of self-destruction. But it's like the lady said, city council in Jersey City, New Jersey, when they was giving me my street named after me. She said, Mr. Kirkland, we're not giving you the street because of what you've accomplished. She said, we're giving you the street because you got off track and you got back on track to achieve your goal.
Wow.
She said, we want people to know that because you can mess up and still achieve. So as I'm reading through life, I've noticed that if Maya Angelou would have died at 22, she'd have died a prostitute. If Malcolm X would have died as a youngster, he would have died a pimp or a drug dealer named Dirty Red. So I talk about this in my stand-up as well, and I tell people, you don't have to start out great. You can start out great and mess up, but you can get back and win and have a story to tell. And I always say to people, try to win, get a story to tell. Don't think that it's over, because it ain't over till it's over. And you can win, and I'm an example of that.
What are your thoughts on fame? What are your thoughts on Hollywood?
That's a great question. I tell people, don't take it seriously. This ego thing, they walk around, they gotta have security. People thinking that they're bigger than what they really are, just because you got more money than another person. Looking down on people. It's a horrible thing. I think the goal, I've always tell people, get the money, take care of your family, take care of your loved ones, treat everybody good.
Yep.
It's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
Shaking hands, that's because when you become an entertainer, it's a rule. These people made you famous.
For sure.
In actuality, you work for them. If they want a picture, care if you're exhausted, take the picture. Somebody wants an autograph, sign it. I remember staying at the Ritz-Carlton in Cleveland. You know, I like the Ritz-Carlton.
I can tell.
The Phoenix Suns was in the same hotel. And at that hotel, the kids stand across the street in the cold to get the autographs from the ball players. Some of the ball players just come and walk right past them. And I got mad. Because I'm like, yo, these people out here, they made you. These basketball players ain't getting no chunk change.
Right.
They get more, even if you sit on the bench. I went on the bus. Yeah, I don't play. I said, yo, sign these motherfuckers autographs, dog. All the money that y'all getting.
TK, that wouldn't have went down well.
No. I'm protected everywhere I go in this world. Trust me, I always keep a crew. You may not see people with me.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those guys, always have a crew on deck. Yeah, all I gotta do is get out alive.
Right.
And I got a crew on deck.
What have you learned about money?
Gotta respect it. You have to respect money. And I teach people how to invest. Now, I made a lot of money in the investment world, but not because I did anything smart.
Mm.
Well, I had to do something smart, but I didn't have a certain strategy. I just invested in everything.
Right.
Like, I just not in one company. I put money in about over 20 companies and made a lot of money doing that way. And I tell people, no represent, Fidelity and all of them, they send you the stuff to represent you,
Right.
so they could put your money in certain places, so they could take 3%.
Right.
So I had a conversation. I said, so you want me, so I bust my ass my whole life, hand all my money over to you, you decide what's best for me, and you take 3% of my money. You gotta be out your damn mind.
Wow. You said, I do it myself.
I do it myself. So I tell people, invest in stuff that you go to all the time. If you go to Chevron, you go to Walmart, you go to Target. One of my female friends, I explained to her, I said, she spends $546 a month at Starbucks.
Well, Miss did it. At least you get some of it back.
And this is what I told her. This is a strategy. I said, wouldn't it be nice if you walked in there knowing they work for you? That's the attitude you gotta have. Even if you just took half that money
Right.
and put it in stock,
Mm-hmm.
they work for you.
Right.
And in 20, 30 years, boom. Like I had a thing I did, I think I did on Breakfast Club. And I was talking about ask your girl for $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And people thought that the women thought I meant give the guy 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, see, y'all wasn't raised by hustlers.
Mm-hmm.
See, I came up with hustlers. Our goal was that we found the woman that we cared about, even though you knew you wasn't gonna be with her, you asked her where her money situation was. If her money situation was right, because you wanna put her in position to be ready for the man she's supposed to be with down the line. Because most men know they're not gonna be with the girl they with.
Right.
But they won't teach her nothing. They won't elevate her.
Oh, okay.
And the goal is to, no matter what woman you meet today, elevate them, make them better.
Better
make
than
them
when you met her.
Exactly. That's what you're supposed to do. So I tell the guys, and I've told the ladies, the 10,000 tells me where you are in life.
Right.
So now I say, look, because I rock with you and I respect you, let's take your 10,000, put it in Morgan Stanley at compound interest and annuity. And in 20 years, your 10,000 is going to be 296,000. You can Google it. You can call Morgan Stanley. This is facts. Because I want you to have your money right for the man you're supposed to be with. Because I belong to everybody.
What's your worst purchase? What's the worst thing TK spent his money on? Because I know before you became financially conscious, you had, in order for you to become financially conscious, you had to have made some mistakes.
It's a good question. None. I've been that conservative with money.
Really?
Yeah. I've been I'm almost cheap, but I have a rule, stay low key and flex occasionally.
Okay.
So that rule always kept me conservative. And the rule is, the more money I got, I live beneath my means.
Really?
Yeah, people get money and they go beyond.
Yeah.
I go the opposite. The more money I get, I go under. Still living good. I live in a very conservative neighborhood. Those people, mostly white, 9% white.
Yeah.
If they know who I am, they know I move very strategically, very quiet. I move a certain way. Not no women coming in out of my house. Only thing they probably saw different over the last 20 years, if I always had a brand new car every 6-7 months. I always got something fly, right? But
you're not doing that no more, though.
No, not doing that no more.
Okay.
So I got an Aston Martin, I got a Bentley.
Damn.
Yeah, I got all the, but I'm getting ready to get rid of them.
And get what?
You're gonna laugh. No, I think I'm getting a minivan.
A minivan?
I think I've always one of the minivan, dog.
To do what?
I just want to drive it.
Your kids, your grandkids?
Yeah, I just want to be in the minivan because I'm going to do my new podcast in LA in January, and my grandkids are in there. And I think maybe that's something that I was putting into the universe, that I'm gonna be with them so much, and I'm looking forward to hanging with my grandchildren. But I'll probably get rid of those cars, and then I have to be honest, I might get a Ferrari, the big boy, but the minivan is gonna be.
You get a straddle?
Yeah. I already got it. I've been looking at it, so I'll see what I'm gonna do.
I ain't been looking at it.
Yeah, I'm
out of that phase. TK.
Yeah, I've been there. I know what you mean. I just want to get the Ferrari on some fly.
Have you ever had a Ferrari before?
Yeah. My car now, the Bentley, I love that thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just the way it takes off. That thing just flows. So I'm just enjoying, man. I mean, what else can you do at this age, right? You have sex, sip on your drink, you sip on Louis XIII, you smoke cigars.
Right.
You get manicures and pedicures. You stay out the way. You stay away from haters.
Yeah.
Right? You got to stay away from haters because you can have 1 million people love you. Only take one motherfucker to knock you off.
Yep. That's it.
That's it.
But you know what I always wondered, and the way the brain is wired, is that 10 million people can applaud you, but you'll always hear the one that be boo.
Isn't that something?
Well, I had the brain wired like that.
I think we are drawn to negativity.
We are.
Just like you can have
1,000
great, beautiful comments, but you always respond to the
negative. That one hate. You don't respond to the one that's like, hey, Shannon, we love Club Shay Shay.
Right.
We love TK on there.
Right.
We love this person. We love that
right.
one. Man, you should have asked this. Why you always being messy?
Yes.
What?
It's hilarious.
It is.
But that's how we are programmed.
Yeah.
So true.
You stand up. Let's get to your stand up because that's what you're known for. You ever been booed?
No.
How do you? Were you a class clown? How did you even discover? Were you funny as a kid? Did you entertain your family? You entertain friends? How did you know you had this side of TK Kirkland?
I wasn't a class clown. I was a hustler who turned the negative into a positive. I got lucky doing stand-up. And when I did it, I was good. I was already starting out as a businessman. So it goes back to the Eddie Murphy, Charlie Murphy situation.
Right.
So that happened in 1982.
Right.
In 1985, I started stand-up. And a guy named David Jones, who was Eddie Murphy's best friend, he still was my friend, even though that situation happened. And what people don't know, even though that situation happened, me and Charlie Murphy still was cool.
Still was cool.
And what Charlie told David Jones was that, because David didn't know if he still should be my friend, because he was best friends with Eddie.
Yeah.
And Charlie says I'm right in front of him. He said, TK is your friend. That's your friend. That's your friend. Regardless of what happened, that's your friend. And me and David, he helped me put jokes together.
Right.
So I was helping putting these jokes together. And shout out to David Jones if you're still alive. And I wound up doing my first comedy show that I rented the venue, because I was always a businessman. And I rented at this club called Carlos and Charlie's on Sunset Boulevard.
Right.
And invited so many people, not thinking the business side of it. Everybody got it free. At the end of the day, the owners didn't care how many people you invited.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you owe the bill.
Right.
So everybody paid, whatever, right? And I think my profit was $2.
Damn.
That's what I made. And I gave David $1, and I kept $1. And that's how I went up into the sunset. And as I come to this day, I have problems with some clubs. Not all the time. They normally give me what I want. But I usually try to get my 90% of the door.
Wow.
Yeah. So some clubs do it more so than others, or they negotiate with me, or I get on their nerves and we don't talk for a minute. Then we come back around. But I don't be caring. I get my money.
Has someone ever rushed the stage on you? Have you ever, do hecklers come and they try to, and try to get you off your game?
No. Never had that problem. I had a problem with a gentleman, but he doesn't exist to me no more. So I gotta pivot out of that one. What I've learned in life is I don't give other people energy to give them, because they're not on my level. So what I've learned in life is not to even mention them so that you give them life. Because I worked hard to get to where you are, and I'm not gonna put them in a position to win. It's something that that went down on some, you got haters.
Yes.
And then you got people who will put their mix into the universe, and because people want to believe what they want to believe, it teaches you a lesson. The lesson it taught me is not to mention who they are. I saw in that situation where people was messy and people like clickbaiting. Because everybody wants to be famous, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be in front of this camera
Fame is
or
a
get
drug,
views on their social media, and they would lie to get it. And I don't fall for it no more.
Cancel culture. Is there a joke that you won't tell on stage?
Oh, no, I'll say anything and don't give a
your favorite comedians today. So let me ask you a question. What do you think the biggest difference is between comedians, whether you go in Eddie, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Robin Harris, Bernie Mac, comedians of yesterday, and the comedians that we see today? What's the biggest difference, you think?
I think the kids today got the fame first before they earned the reputation.
Yeah.
But if they're smart in 10, 15 years,
they can be done and don't even have to do it no more.
They could be done and be done with it, but their talent would match the fame.
Right. Okay.
Whereas we had the fame first and not the money. Because we had to go in the trenches to get it. We only had Arsenio Hall.
Right.
David Letterman. What's the radio guy that's been around a long time, the white guy?
Oh, Howard Stern?
Howard Stern. See, we had those shows to make us famous.
Yeah.
That's not that many.
No.
Think about now.
They don't really have comedians on like that. You know, Johnny Carson used to have a night where he had comedians on. He give them 5 minutes to do their thing, and if they really good, he'd bring their ass to the couch and hey, that was such and such, and they go. The shows aren't like that anymore.
Not like that at all. So those things changed the game. But it's like David Klingman, my business partner, told me before he died years ago. He said, everything we learned, throw it out the window because it doesn't apply now. See, there's no blueprint for success. Right. People think you should do this, you should do that. Nah, 30 years ago, the Kardashians would have never been on TV.
Right.
And there's no disrespect to them, but I saw the mentality of the universe decline. I knew he was in trouble when Flavor Flav got a show.
But you ain't like Flavor Love?
It's not about Flavor Love. It was when I saw them women chasing this motherfucker through the show like he was the finest dude on the planet, and that was confusing to me. So when I saw the Flavor Flav show, I knew then we was in trouble. Shout out to Flavor Flav too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew, man. Say, really? That's how I looked at the world.
You got in a fight with Robin Harris?
Didn't get in a fight in it. We just didn't get along. It's just
why you didn't get along?
Well, it's like in football, somebody don't like basketball. So, a lot of people didn't like Michael Jordan. Yeah. I thought about that today. It's crazy. I love to be prepared. What I've learned in life is since he's deceased, I can't discuss his situation.
Because he ain't here to defend it.
He's not here to defend it. So we just didn't get along, just life.
What about Michael Blackson?
I love Michael Blackson. Me and Michael.
He just had a kid.
I know his old ass. Shout out to Michael. He said he wasn't gonna have no kid. Me and Michael Blackson are great. We respect each other. Well, we never had a problem. Right. He just thought that I wasn't making money.
Right.
Because I always stayed quiet.
Right.
And Vlad had asked me one time about how much I make. And I was like, I ain't telling her. I don't know when people start. I'm an old head. I think different. The way we came up, no one's supposed to know
how much you made.
What you made.
Because when they do, boy, they coming.
Yeah, like when did they start advertising such a sign a 5-year deal worth $122 million? Right. People don't know you put a X on this man's back or a woman's back. That's dumb. So everybody thought we was mad at each other, but we wasn't mad. Right. It's just that what I had said, we was somewhere, and I told him I'd get like $40-something a show.
Right.
But what he didn't understand is that most of my shows don't come from the comedy world. It's people who are still making money in the streets that book me for stuff. And because my crew loves me, or people who've been rocking me for 30 years,
Right.
they're gonna pay me what I want.
Right.
So I get it. I get my money different way than most comics, and I created my own lane.
Right.
So yeah, Michael Black. Shout out to Michael Blackson. So we always have a good time.
You mentioned that the Netflix, and I obviously look when you get a special now. Netflix. It used to be HBO.
Yes.
Chappelle.
Yes.
Netflix. He did his thing, and Chappelle has been unbelievable. Who else? Quake had a Netflix special.
Yes.
Cat had a Netflix special. So I guess that's the new HBO having a special. But I see Ali Sadiq take a different route.
Yes.
I see who else took a different route? Arnez J took a different route.
Yes.
Are you okay if that Netflix special don't come, pivoting and saying, okay, I got a YouTube channel, I'll put it on YouTube, let people view it for themselves?
I've been doing it way before these guys. I have my own network. I put my own stuff out. The thing that got what happened to get me more popular was shows like yours, the Vlad TVs, the Breakfast Clubs. I knew in the 90s, in order for me to get the recognition that I wanted, it was gonna come from the younger generation. Didn't know about social media, didn't know about the internet. But podcasting, internet, social media changed my world.
Yep.
So now I'm more popular than I was. Even though I'm funny, I think I was funnier back then than I am now. But I'm more popular.
More eyeballs see it now.
I'm more popular now. So with that said, now I could promote my shows even more, my stand-up. I was doing independent stuff way before most comics, and making decent money, you know? So what people need to understand, Netflix will pay you a certain amount of money, but they own you.
They own it. You don't own the content.
It's done. Once they pay you, they own it.
They own it. So they keep running as long as they want to. And
me owning mine, I may not get all the money that Netflix will give me at one time.
But you're going to get over the course of time.
Over the course of time. And
it ain't how much money you make, it's how long you make money.
Exactly. And that's what people don't get. We're so brainwashed. And sometimes you want to fight everybody to prove to them how they wrong. But man, boy.
Were you on a Comic View or Def Comedy Jam?
I did Comic View.
Right.
I never did Def Jam.
Do you regret not being able to do Def Comedy Jam?
No. Def Jam, you ask Bob Sumner and Tina Graham, it was based on my style of comedy.
Right.
And I turned it down the first time.
Right.
Because I did a special called Mo Funny with Miles and Mabley.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor.
Yep.
And it was introducing me to the world as the next voice of stand-up comedy.
Okay.
But then I got in another situation in crime with
Credit
Russell
card?
Simmons.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had another situation after that. So
You
then
stayed in some ish.
I stayed in some shit. So then when I came back around to do it, I couldn't do the show.
Yeah. It's like, nah, we good.
Yeah, we good.
Do you believe in gatekeepers? Are there gatekeepers out there? Because people keep saying it.
Yeah, I think it is, but I never got caught. I never cared about it. I'm so deep independent. None of that exists to me. Because like I said, I got an M behind my name too. Most comics don't have it.
Right.
I had to do something right.
Right.
And I'm damn near 100-something years old. When I was on the show, we started I was 60-something, right?
Yeah.
We've been here so long.
Yeah, you the age.
I'm aged a little bit. I think I'm 103.
Have you written jokes for comics?
No, we might, maybe once in a while we say something and we say, you go ahead and keep that.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Right.
That's it. My style of comedy is really unique. It really is, you know? So I take pride in it. One of my friends had explained to me that Dave Chappelle was talking about me.
Right.
And he said, TK Kirkland is really one of the best comedians out of there because of my cadence.
Right.
He said that I had a way of speaking that hypnotized people. And I thought that was a great comment. So shout out to
Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Gary told me that, Dave, so let you know.
Has someone ever where are you on joke stealing? Have someone ever stolen your joke?
I'm quite sure they have. I think it's the most pettiest kitty shit that I've ever seen in my life. Somebody steal your shit, unless it's a signature piece.
Right.
Right? Because what I know is in this game, especially African American, you may not have the same material, but you might have the same topic.
Right.
If Will Smith did the smacking, everybody had a joke about Will Smith. They just did it a different way, but it was the same topic. I think when I saw that, I thought it was petty. I thought it was nonsense, but I'm older than everybody. So I was like, let them kids play with the game, play with their toys. I ain't had time for it.
What is it about, why don't comics like following each other?
Because that person goes on in front of them is about to destroy the room. And that's why I had to always go last in my coming up in my day.
Right.
Because everybody knew that TK Kirkland was going to rock the room. If you ever talk to DL Godfrey again, these guys will definitely say to you, nobody wanted to follow TK Kirkland. Nobody. I will put a hurting on your ass. And that's a fact. I mean, it's true. It's true.
Is that the intentions? Is it like you like, first of all, when you get booked for a show and then when everything is settled, you know who's gonna be on that show.
And that's a great question, Shannon. When you're young, you want to destroy the world. What I learned in life, and I tell younger comedians, listen to what your headliner is, what his show is about. Understand comedy IQ. Don't talk about the same things that he might talk about. And don't burn the show. Because if you don't burn the show, that comic might take you on the road with him. Because that's how you'll learn to eat. I was destroying everybody, so I had to find my own lane because nobody was going to take me on the road.
Correct.
So I sat down with Damon Wayans one day, and he said, TK, you can't get mad at comics who won't book you.
Yeah.
He said, you're too funny. Nobody's going to book you. This ain't happening. And I've learned that, so I created my own lane. And over the years, my name is on the marquee. I try to teach comics about comedy IQ because I want clean comics going before I go on.
Right.
Because
you're gonna be grungy with yours, huh?
And I want it to be shocking.
Right.
I don't want 3 people might step on certain things I might talk about by the time I get on. And the example I'm gonna give the world and you. It's like if we was watching a TV show right now, we had different actors and they was talking about a certain topic. We turned the channel, different actors, but same topic. You said, I saw this already. It's the same thing sitting in the audience. If everybody goes on and talks about the same topic, could be different material,
right?
But the audience, people are saying, yo, did you hear what the first person said? He said the same thing you just said. And people, the comedians don't talk with each other before they go on stage.
Really?
And they should talk. They say, what you gonna talk about today? Because I don't wanna talk about what you're doing. And that's how I always do my shows.
TK, you've been at this thing a long time, damn near longer than anybody. Did you know that comedians had this kind of resentment towards each other?
Yeah, it's petty, which don't make any sense. That's like I've always stayed to myself. It's truly petty. Because like I said, I came up a street guy.
Yeah.
Most of the guys, they didn't have confidence. They didn't have a title. And comedy somewhat gave them confidence. They was able to talk to women. You know, I was pulling women since I was 11, right? So I seen it. I seen it from the far, just watch it. Seen them getting girlfriends, having babies, and I seen them all change. And they take this thing, because nobody never had nothing until they got a little name for themselves.
Right.
It don't matter. Don't matter. If you're not in touch with yourself, you don't have a few dollars in the bank, you don't have good credit, you living off a woman, you done, dog.
Right.
From a man's perspective, and I pretty much know everybody's business.
That's not good.
Yeah, when I say I pretty much know everybody's business, some of the women that these guys are married to, I probably dated them first.
Damn.
They probably still stay in touch with me. No. I'm not saying who they are.
I'm just saying, are you proud of that?
No, I just because I dated them before you, that I'm not the bad guy.
You the bad guy.
I fucked them first. Like, what do you mean? Some of these guys is married.
Yeah.
Because of what I taught they girl.
Oh my goodness, TK.
What? That's just game. Some of these guys, and this is true. If you married and you know that girl dated me first.
She might have didn't tell him. You don't know.
Yeah, but they know.
Maybe they don't know.
I hope they don't know. Ah!
I read you were an athlete. What you
Wow.
football? You football? I mean, you got some, you got nice eyes to yourself.
I was a track star.
Track.
I guess now they don't have you rolling. Guess who I ran with?
Man, we did research. I'm gonna say Bruce Jenner.
Carl Lewis.
You ran with Carl? You beat him?
No. We didn't run against each other.
Okay.
In New Jersey in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. Carl, that's where he's from. Yeah.
We was the hottest track circuit in the world.
Right.
So we had Carl Lewis, Butch Wolfolk from Westfield. We had Ronaldo Skeets, Niemeyer.
Yep.
Remember them, right?
Remember
You had Lee Brown, Guy Williams, TK Kirkland. A lot of people don't know that I used to run track. I won the Melrose Games at Madison Square Garden.
Did you?
1979.
What you were 60 minutes? 60?
No, the my relay.
My relay.
Ran had to run somebody down.
You got him?
Got him. My relay. 1970 Melrose Games. So I've had and still having an amazing life. That track thing.
I love it. That's my favorite sport to watch.
Isn't that? Yeah, but it was my favorite thing to run. You know,
that's why they couldn't catch you, huh? When you did something bad.
That's right.
That'd be real bad. You a track athlete, and the cops catch you with all that gear on, TK.
So I'm gonna tell you. So I got a crazy story. I did something at a school. I ain't gonna say the name of the school, and I dropped my bag. They couldn't catch me, but I dropped my bag, and my ID was in the bag.
Oh.
And they came to the house.
That's how they got you, huh?
That's how they got me, mother. I was something else. I told you.
Are you disappointed Tyreek and Noah Lyles in our racing?
I'm disappointed. Yeah, because Noah Lyles is a different kind of man.
Yeah, he be hating on them. He be hating on them athletes.
Yeah, and I hate to say this about him, and I normally don't say this about people. Somebody need to whoop his ass. Now, he need to go in the room and get f***ed up so he can get some guts, because I'm disappointed how he moves as a man.
I don't like that either. You can't get mad for something you don't have that somebody else do.
Yeah.
And you talk down on them, bro.
Yeah, and all them dramatics and coming out before you run.
I ain't got no problem with that. It's just the hating. Well,
no,
this guy got a shoe. This guy got a shoe, and I ain't got no shoe. I'm the most popular guy. You go back and study track and field. Ain't but a handful of guys. Usain Bolt and probably Michael Johnson.
Yes.
I mean, people are not gonna just make a shoe because you fast. People gonna make a shoe because it'll sell. People
Here's what you're saying that people don't get.
Demand.
Character.
Yes.
Do you have a personality to sell? When you see Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
What is it about him? He's generous to the people.
Yeah.
And he gives results. He wins.
Yep.
At the end of the day, good character and results. Let's take football.
Yeah.
When your contract is up, they talk about, do you deserve all the money you about to get?
Right.
If your character is not good, these athletes, these people don't know this in the world.
Right.
Yeah, you can have the talent, but they decide he can't handle that kind of money because they've been watching your character. And if your character's not right, you could lose 7, 8, 10, even 20 million.
Yeah.
Because someone is deciding, can you handle the money they're about to give you? Right. And if they don't think you can handle it, they'll shorten you 20-something million.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to look. I understand if he wants the shoe, he feels he's deserving, he's earned the right for a shoe. I ain't got no problem with that.
Yes.
Complain. But don't talk about what somebody else has because you don't have it.
I totally agree.
That's the only problem I have with it.
And keep delivering. Be a man of your word. If you're supposed to race Tyreek, train.
Right.
Train. Because we know you're the best.
Right.
Tyreek can't beat you.
Right.
But it was in Times Square.
I think if it all depends on what they're running.
That's
If
so true.
they run a 40, I think Tyreek can beat him in a 40.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Now they run 100, he ain't beating him in 100.
No, and I'm quite sure if he was smart, he would run 100. Like I wanted to run Cat Williams. And
Cat will beat you. I got Cat.
Yeah. No, Cat called me on one of the radio shows, right?
Yeah.
And
I got Cat. I'm just saying I put my money on Cat.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. You know, when you're old, you think you still that 19, 21-year-old kid. And when I saw Cat run, I said, I can beat Cat. That's the kid.
Yeah.
So I'm working out one day. I said, and it just, nothing happened. I just realized, you fall back from that mess you was talking about with Cat.
Yeah.
Because
you better pull up everything.
Yeah. No, I'm in good shape. But I know I ain't that fast.
Right.
It's a difference, right? And Cat called me. I was doing a podcast. Shout out to Cat. And he said, what's up, old man? He said, what you want to do about that race you wanted to do? I said, Cat, let me tell you something. I got to thinking. Doug, you can have that because I got a feeling. I said, I feel young, but I know that's that thing when you get older. You think that you're still as fast as you used to be, and you're not.
No, not even close.
I came in, when I run across the street, you know when you're in shape, when you bounce.
Yeah.
Everything I do now, I feel like I'm stomping in the ground.
Heavy.
It's heavy. So you know what I mean, right?
Yes.
You don't have that, I don't have that bounce, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Look, you had offered a critique of Cam Newton. Mm-hmm. Have you had an opportunity to talk to Cam? Have y'all had an opportunity to discuss that?
No,
and clear the air?
I'm glad that you brought that up because let me tell you what I thought. I said something to Cam and I'm gonna apologize. I'm gonna tell you why. In life, you see people at a certain place in their life and then they grow up and they become better people. Mm-hmm. And I saw his growth. Mm-hmm. And I'm man enough to say I was wrong because I saw his growth. Mm-hmm. Just like one time I said Kevin Hart wasn't funny. Right. And Kevin Hart's funny, but what I didn't see at that time was Kevin was a young kid. Mm-hmm. Comedy is based on experiences and maturity. And the older you live in this game, the more you experience, the more you become funny. Mm-hmm. And I saw that in Kevin. When Kevin did that host for
the roast for Tom Brady?
For Tom Brady, listen to me. I think I watched that show about 20 times. Yeah. Because Kevin was on fire. Mm-hmm. And I just truly enjoyed him. How he grew up to be a young man. His timing was impeccable. And I just saluted him. I watched it that much. And I even love seeing him on the commercials. He was born to do those Citibank commercials. Yes. What's in your wallet? Yeah. Like I love that, right? Yeah, I thought that was phenomenal. So when people give an opinion of someone, what I've learned from that is keep it to yourself. Right. Because they're going to evolve. Mm-hmm. Just like if someone would have had an opinion of me years ago, they were like, oh, he'll kill you, he'll put you in a trunk type man. And now today,
criminal.
Criminal. Now and look at me now, you know. So you do evolve. Barry White was like that. Johnny Cash. All these people were probably worse than me. Right. And became phenomenal people.
You have 7 kids. You caused a little stir on I think it was the Breakfast Club where you say you don't pay or you didn't pay child support.
No, it wasn't just Breakfast Club. It was another show.
Another show. You said.
And the girl was upset with me about that. Yeah. And I explained to her, when you're a man and you deal with women, they don't care about
I still
child
don't know how you
support.
got out of that.
No, I just think that when you're a man, the women that you mess with, if they need something, you look
take
out.
care of it.
You take care of it. Because I wasn't married.
Right.
Most of my babies was one-night stands. Huh? Yeah, I didn't have relationships with these kids' moms. I saw you, we hooked up.
But you can't say that though, TK.
Why can't I say that?
Because the kids.
No, I told them. All the kids know.
You told them?
Yeah, I told them. I said,
you told them that your mom was a one-night stand?
Yeah, one-night stand.
Damn, TK.
What?
Let them have this dream that my mom and dad was in love.
No. Your dad was smooth. Your father was smooth. My kids, I had this conversation with my kids already. This is not, if they hear
How
this.
old is the youngest kid?
My youngest is 17.
The oldest is how old?
38.
Damn. So you had your last kid at 50?
Yeah,
You done now?
it's possible though.
What the hell you mean it's
let's see
possible?
what happens tonight.
They put man on the room.
I don't know what's gonna happen tonight, Shannon. You know, I might have 3 left in me.
TK, you 66.
Yeah, hey.
You got grandkids.
Yeah,
How you have grandkids older than your kids?
Let me tell you something. It all depends what go down tonight. No, I'm messing with you. I'm done. I had to get you on that. Nah, no more. Listen, to anybody thinking about having children, I want you to do me a favor. Get in your car and go to 3 daycares in your neighborhood.
Yeah. That's stop
And that will stop you.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
He'd stop you.
Forget plan B. Go see what they charge at daycare.
Yeah.
And you will not have no children.
Yeah, they probably charge like $300-400 a week.
It's more than that.
More than that?
What? Shannon's like $3,000
A month for a kid?
a week.
Oh Lord, they
Look at me, Shannon. A week.
be watching Coco Melon at the crib.
That's my point. A week, Shannon.
Dude.
A week.
No. Your father drowned at 35. You had a brother murdered at 35. Your youngest brother had an aneurysm. You had a very tough.
No, what I want to know, who, the person that works for you to find out information, we need to put them at the government. Because they'll track anybody down, dog.
Yeah,
oh my God.
But T, we great over here, Club Shay Shay.
Yo, on point. Yeah, all this happened before I was 40. So my dad drowned, my mom died of cancer, my brother got shot by the police, and my youngest brother died of aneurysm. So that's like how I always talk about life and death.
I was about to ask you, is that why you're so appreciative of life? Because you've seen so much death.
I've seen so much death. I've been burying people since I was 11.
Damn.
And that's I paid for my own funeral. My funeral was paid for already. All that. I got everything done already. So my kids won't have to deal with all that.
Right.
Because it takes a certain man to be prepared to know that your demise. And I know how there's no funeral, there's no memorial service.
Really?
Yeah, no funeral, no memorial service.
Why, you don't want anybody to grieve over you?
Nah. Wherever you are in the world that day, just say T to the MFK, we keep it moving. And now the reason why I do that, because when my family was dying, I know it's kind of weird, I always felt it was an inconvenience.
Really?
I ain't had time to go to no damn funeral. And I remember when my aunts died, I asked my mom, and I said, Mom, do I gotta go? And she's like, yeah, you gotta be there, you know? Because I was always
You was
grinding.
on that grind.
My mother used to always say, that boy never lets dust get under his feet because he's always on the move. And I think about death every day, and I thought it was a bad thing.
Right.
And my accountant, he's deceased now, and we had a talk one day, years ago. He said, nah, TK, he said, how you thinking is amazing. He said, because you'll never get complacent. I live every day like it's my last.
Yep.
And I love it, whether it's sitting in my house smoking a cigar, walking mountains,
Right.
going to the gym, catching a plane to my apartment in Paris. I live this thing, man.
Oh, you just gonna gloss over that, huh?
Yeah, I love being in Paris.
Power to Paris.
Yeah, because then I get there like 6 in the morning. I always land 6:30 in the morning. I I go in my apartment, I change clothes. And then there you go, you sit right on there. I go sit in my cafe and I watch the cars go by. They know me, Mr. Kirkland. I have my cappuccino and croissant, and I just sit there and chill. And I start laughing because I won.
This N-word here.
One of my homies would say, because I was going to Spain that week too. He said, man, you flexing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something, I'm going to give you some game. See, everybody I roll with is successful.
Right.
Never do we say we flexing. Because when you rock with winners, it's the way it is.
Right.
When you mess with people who are not on your level, and you on my level, but I got to change your mindset right here. I got to educate you. It's not bragging, it's wins.
Right.
So you roll with winners, because when you're with winners, it doesn't sound
Right.
like brags.
Right.
So whenever you hear someone doing their thing in the future, right,
Mm-hmm.
you always say, no, you're doing your thing. Because people who IQ or their mentality, or they don't rock with people who are successful, will always say, yo, you flexing.
Right.
But everybody I rock with got money.
So,
We ain't never said that.
wow.
Play to player, pimp to pimp.
In your 40 years in the business, what's been the best advice you've been given?
Never get old and be broke.
I like
Yeah, I live by that every day.
If you could do anything differently in your career, I'm gonna give you, I got a time machine, and I'm gonna give TK the ability to go back and do something from his past differently. What would it be?
Nothing. I thought about it 100 times because I like what I've become.
And you don't feel you could become that without the experiences that you experienced while you...
I don't know because I haven't experienced it. So I can only go by what's real, right? And what's real is me sitting here with you and my achievements and what I've overcome and what I had to do to get over it. Would I do it again? No.
Once is enough.
Man, if I had to do it again, nah. No, if I could survive. But to see where I'm at today, I'm blessful. I know what I had to go through to get here. To tell my story on Club Shay Shay,
and we appreciate it too.
Yeah, and I appreciate you. And to know what I've achieved. Man, it's a blessing, yo. It's like winning the Super Bowl.
What advice would you like to give this next generation? Be it about business, be it about health, be it about anything. What info, what words of wisdom, knowledge would you like to pass along?
Educate yourself. Knowledge is key, but understand knowledge is a gift and a curse, right? Because the more you know, the more you dislike people, right? Respect money. Love yourself first before you want to grow up and be a family. Because everybody in this room, everybody in the world, what I'm about to say, you've done it. When I say everybody once in their lifetime said, I can't wait till I grow up. And it's truly one of the worst damn things you could say in your life. We all know that now.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to get grown.
Remember
Damn,
that?
I sure wish I was a kid again.
Man, don't you? Am I right or wrong? Don't rush to be an adult. Don't be rushing to have babies.
Don't rush to get old.
Don't rush to be old, man. Teach people to stop saying that.
Right.
Because even though you can handle it, take your time.
Yeah.
If you take your time and really enjoy this thing called life, it's so much better. Everybody want to rush, having sex and babies, and you don't have the financial means to take care of a kid. You don't have the proper education, right? To get a good job, and everybody suffers.
Yeah.
Everybody suffers. And I tell people, if you can, try not, and people think I'm crazy when I say this, have kids in your late 30s and 40s. Now I had 20-something years old, people are like, oh, you could be dead. But then that's the chance you take. It's better than the kid being in poverty and struggling. Right. People don't get it.
Right.
So that's the advice I would give. And follow TK Kirkland on Instagram at TK_Kirkland. That's the advice I would give them as well.
What about you got a YouTube channel?
Yeah, no, I do. It's
TK
TK Kirkland podcast. On Twitter is TK Kirkland as well. The YouTube, the podcast will be out in January called Who Raised You?
Right.
We calling it the People's Podcast, and I'm excited to do it. It'll be 9 years. I did this stuff with SoundCloud and Charlamagne the God. We couldn't do video at the time because I just wasn't gonna stand still. Now I'm getting ready to do this. I'm excited. I'm gonna do something a little different, and we'll see what happens with it. Because like I said, I'm gonna give myself a 10-year run. But 10-year run for me, I'll be 70, almost 77 years old. God damn! I'm gonna be here though.
TK Kirkland,
my man.
Appreciate you,
pleasure,
bro.
Sir.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's welcome Awich back to perform on Club Shay Shay.
It goes from the finger to the elbow.
Earth, golden
God
aura,
will teach you how to
eternally you
shake.
radiate. Yeah. From the far east archipelago, snakes with the venom, yeah, we put them in the bottle. Cheers to the pain, it's a hard pill to swallow. Pop our sniff rap and we scream, arigato. Yo, Tokyo racing, nose congested, nasal spray AG, feeling all this chemistry, boys stay blazing, and we still having bad trips like that 80s shit. Fuck you, pay me. Occupy your pen, nobody give us guidance. Now you want a bitch, could you see my good finance? But your daddy in my DM, like, yeah, understanding body with the solid mathematic. My aesthetic so poetic, haters funny, problematic, floated paddock, golden chalice, conjure character with carrots. I that bring it panic if you want it. Come down to the butcher shop. We gon' eat tonight. Come down to the butcher shop. It's do or die. What's yours is mine. Come down, we gon' grind to the spine. Got the finest of the fine, give it to you raw if it's how you lie. Listen, even the vegetarians can fit the criteria. Slicing out the barriers, serving like veterans. I'm from the jungle with the military trenches. Cinderella bitch tryna hop over the fences. Used to be that girl on the gate 2 streets. Now I'm making yens like I'm real Japanese. Running on my numbers to the nearest 100,000. I ain't got the time, I'm got the ones who styled it. Bow, Bobby got the yacht at the dot, it's the rock. Bush on the rocks in a clean baccarat. Ashton, DBX sitting in my lot. From Oki to the Shaolin land, it's the bop. Happy Sake, mixed with the cider. Rally all these drunken monks in the cipher. I be with the shell shock boys from the island. If you want it, we can chop it up. Come down to the butcher shop. We gon' eat tonight. Come down to the butcher shop. It's do or die. Come down to the butcher shop. What's yours is mine. Come down, we gon' grind to the spine. Got the finest of the fine, give it to you raw if it's how you lie. Wow. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much.
Oh man, that's awesome. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for performing on Club Shay Shay. The name, Awich, it means Asian wish child.
Yes.
How did you come up with that?
It's my real name, Akiko.
Uh-huh.
Akiko, it means a child that Asia has wished for.
Okay.
Like A is for Asia.
Okay.
Ki is for wish.
Okay.
And Ko is for child.
Oh,
So
okay.
when
You
I was
combined it.
14, I pushed it together and came up with Awich.
Wow.
But everybody hates that name because it sounds like a witch.
Right.
But I didn't mean to be a witch. I tried to change it so many times, but every time I change it, some sign will come to me and like,
say,
don't
leave it.
change it.
Yeah.
Just keep it.
You're from Okinawa.
Yes.
Now, Okinawa, if I'm not mistaken, I think the U.S. does it still have a military base there?
A lot, yes.
Okay, so you were around people that spoke English, although you didn't. You learned to speak English from watching Tupac.
Yes, yes. Well, when I was earlier in my life, before I even discovered Tupac,
Okay,
I studied English on the military base.
okay,
Like I went on to this teacher who was married to a military guy.
okay, American, yeah.
Yeah. So she taught me English. But then, so I started digging like American music.
Okay,
Then I discovered hip hop. And then I discovered Tupac.
okay. And you was hooked.
Yeah, I watched all of his video, all of his songs, read all the lyrics, his interviews, his like documentaries. He was already passed when I discovered him.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
all the movies, everything.
Yeah, you know what? TK actually had a relationship with Biggie and Tupac. He had a really good relationship with Tupac, so maybe you can lend some insight and help her get a better understanding of Tupac.
So when you knew you was going to do Shannon Sharpe, when did you start preparing?
Like a month ago.
About a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a true professional. The reason why I say that, Shannon's been around for a while, and I've been in the business 40 years. And I started out with N.W.A.
Yeah.
And I learned from everybody, from Jay-Z to Tupac and all of us. And the thing that he's gonna laugh, I've been preparing for Shannon Sharpe for 3 years. For 3 years, it's a mental thing. So do you prepare how you was gonna sound, what you was gonna wear,
Yes.
the outfit that you was gonna wear?
Yes.
That is, it comes all the way down there. To me, that's just a true professional, because a lot of people don't put that much time into it. And you have to
Wait,
put that much time.
I've been preparing for over than a month. because
Yeah.
We first talked about
maybe
it,
like 3 months.
Okay.
Wow.
3
Right.
months.
Yeah.
'Cause we first talked
people
about it.
prepare like that. Like
Yeah.
it's really we take it that seriously.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm already on the year 2032, and I'm
Okay.
66 years old. So
You do not
yeah,
look-
I'm 66.
What?
So I just think that helps to keep me alive
Wow.
and keep me going. I've always been like that my whole life. Now, one thing about Tupac, when he started with Digital Underground, he was
yeah.
a different type of gentleman, right?
Yes.
And I saw him. He was looking for someone to guide. He needed an OG. He didn't have an OG. And he went down this path of rebellion, strength, saying what he felt was necessary and against all odds, right? And so how does that inspire you? Do you want to put that type of energy out for the people, or what message that you're trying to give to the universe?
Well, he definitely taught me to give back to the community.
Okay.
So I'm doing charities. I have my own brand of sake that will create employment in Okinawa.
Okay.
And I'm always doing like going back to school, like a school do speeches and things like that, because I learned that from Tupac.
Okay.
Wow.
Because he like I watched his community center speech, and you know what I mean. So that part of Tupac is definitely like is in me, but also his other part, like a rebellious part, like his contradiction, his everything, like he's being honest, like brutally honest with himself all the time. So to not be afraid to be honest of who you are, how you feel at like this moment, as well as to give back.
I have one more question. Is this your first album or first tracks, or have you put different albums up in the past?
I have a lot of works done in Japan.
Yes.
I've accomplished a lot.
Okay.
In Japan.
Okay, great.
So now this is my like a first project that I'm working with RZA.
Okay.
That would probably cross over to like overseas audience.
He likes that. He likes that type of that style.
So,
Chinese, Japanese, karate,
yes, the
all
karate
that.
flicks, yep.
Let me. You said you have been preparing to come on Club Shay Shay for almost 3 months.
Yeah.
What did you know about Club Shay Shay? Why was it important for you to like, you know what, I want to perform and I want to perform on that platform?
It's like you always talk about the performance is performance, but the interview is like what makes me want to be on the show.
Oh, wow, thank
It's
you.
very spontaneous. It's very natural, and like a conversation. It's a real conversation.
Thank you.
And it's funny, and it's serious, emotional, so all of that.
How does an Asian young lady, how do you get into, of all the genres of music, rap?
I used to like write poetry all the time. When I was like, since I was 9 years old, I still have the books. Because I couldn't sleep. Like, I think I see ghosts.
Uh-oh. The sixth sense, you see dead people, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I don't see like clearly.
Right, but they
I
come to
feel
you
it.
with it. Yeah, okay.
So ever since I was a child, I couldn't sleep at night because I couldn't close my eyes. So I would sit up and write poetry. So that kind of like transferred into rap music really easily.
Wow.
So and I couldn't really sing. So I'm like, man, I can't be a singer. Then I met rap. I'm like, oh, you don't have to be
you don't
have to sing to be a singer. So let me try this, and it fit me.
So when you were growing up, did you play with dolls? Did you play sports? Did you always know that kind of like, I want to be a singer? And then you're like, well, my voice is not really going to carry that, but I can rap. So once you discovered rap, you were all in on rap. Nothing else mattered. You didn't focus on anything else other than rap.
Since I was 14, yes, true. But I went through like a lot of ups and downs in life. I got married and I have a daughter when I was like 20 years old. And then I took like 10 years off.
Wow.
And then my husband passed away. And then I went to depression and then came back out. My daughter helped me out a lot. And I promised my daughter I'll be the best in Japan after I came out of the depression. And I am. So I took like a minute off, but I've always was into like writing. I never quit writing.
Right.
Yeah.
your parents, when you told them that, you know what, I want to be a rapper, you came to America, you end up having, because you know, when you have a child, it's
Right.
already difficult when, you know, when you crossing races.
Mm-hmm.
Was it even more difficult when you went back home with your daughter and she's not full-blooded Asian, she's, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but you probably see a lot of that on Okinawa.
Yes, I do. I do.
But how were you received when you went back home?
When,
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt. You have racism there?
in
Is
Japan?
that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Really, yo?
Yeah.
but I
So
can-
wait.
Yeah.
I'm sorry again. So me and him went over there. We would have issues being black.
not so much today. Not so much
Okay.
today. But back in the days, because my daughter is 17 now.
Wow.
You look about 20.
Yeah.
right?
I was gonna say.
I was confused.
Yeah, I thought you was gonna say you had like a 4-year-old.
Let me explain. I'm 38 years old.
Yeah.
So I've been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then came back in the scene in Japan. Maybe I was like 29, 30 years
Mm-hmm.
old. So it was unheard of already for my age to start to break out.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody called me a big sis and all that. But so I have 17 years old. But when we came back to Okinawa, she was 3 years old.
Okay.
We don't have like luckily my daughter didn't experience a lot of racism,
Okay.
bullying and all of that
Yes.
stuff. But I remember this one time she had very like a big afro.
Afro, yeah.
And she had this cute puff,
Yeah.
2 puffs.
Uh-huh.
And I, tie her hair up. She was like, one day she came home and she was like, tomorrow, please, like, braid my hair.
Wow.
Please braid my hair, braid my hair. And I said, why? She was like, I just want you to braid my hair.
Oh.
And it turned out this boy bullied her for her, like, a fluffy hair.
Yeah.
Like, because it's different. When she braided into, like, a one braid, it doesn't show that much difference. So she begged me. So then I realized that was the reason. I was like, no, like go like that.
Right.
Because
You wanted her to accept who she is.
yeah, and then I want him to accept it as
For who
well.
she is.
And I want her to know he do not know what cute is.
Right.
He do not know what beauty is. He do not know what fashion is. Go back there and watch him and how he dressed and how he looked like. And tell me.
That's true.
And so she went. So I convinced her to go, and
Right.
she went, and she came back happy.
Wow.
And I said, "What the boy said?" And she was like, "Nothing." And what he looked like? He had some dirty soccer ball shirt on. I said, "See, I told you."
Right.
So she was like, I know what's cute. Your mama know what's cute. Your mama know what's beautiful. I know.
Right.
So just listen to me, and you're good. So.
You what was it about RZA? RZA's a member of the Wu-Tang. What was it about him that made you want to work with him? Because I know he's, as TK was saying, he's big into karate. He's big into the martial arts thing. And you mentioned earlier that Okinawa is the birthplace of karate.
Right. So he came to Okinawa for about a week on a project, and I was guiding him through,
Oh.
like, different places.
Yeah.
So I showed him the military base, to show him the temples, the karate dojo, and the clubs and everything. I even took him to my parents' house,
Wow.
and they had drinks together.
Right.
It was like a dream, watching my dad and RZA,
Wow.
like cheering.
Yes.
So,
And how did y'all meet?
So when he was coming to Okinawa, he was like in need for somebody that could guide the spaces of like Japanese hip hop.
Okay.
And also like know the local places and the traditions and the philosophies of like this
Okay.
Okinawa. So I knew karate. I have a first degree black belt.
Dang.
Wow, that's awesome.
Only first degree.
That's okay. That's enough.
It hurts a lot of people.
Look, there's a lot of rappers. I mean, obviously Tupac is probably one of your favorite rappers. But currently, is there any female rapper, male rappers? You got Meg, you got Nicki, you got Glorilla, you got,
Oh yeah, I
So
love
who would you like to jump on a project with?
Megan. Megan, we met.
Meg Style?
Yeah, Megan and Glorilla.
Yeah, Glow.
Me and Risa talked about getting, Glow on a track.
Wow.
So we're still trying.
Okay.
We're still trying.
What about guys? What male rappers you
Male
like?
rapper is a lot of them. But I like, right now I'm listening to Lil Wayne.
Okay.
And Lil Tecca.
Okay.
J. Cole. Kendrick, definitely, I just went to his concert in Detroit just
What'd
to
you-
see.
What'd you think?
It was amazing. I saw his, this is my second time watching him, and his, the level of art is amazing, and is always in everybody's mood board. Wow. So.
When you came to America, you went to Atlanta and not New York. And if I'm not mistaken, is that where you met your husband?
Yes, definitely.
So why ATL and not NYC?
When you're in Okinawa, you see a lot of American guys in the military, but coming from different places. All over America, right? But I always click with the Southern.
You like those Southern gentlemen,
the Southern guys, Southern, people, and they're like this country pride. And Okinawa is kind of like the same thing. The Tokyo is good, like Osaka, they have their own culture.
Right.
But Okinawa has this a rebellious country soul to it. Like we are who we are.
Right.
So that type of style kind of I was gravitated towards. So I'm like, I'm not going to LA, or it's all made up. But Atlanta at that time, it was 2006.
Okay.
2005, 2006, it was rising.
Yes.
Yeah, it was popping.
It was popping,
Sure
it
was.
was coming up. So I was like, definitely Atlanta.
You met, fall in love, you go to New York. So that experience, did you tell your parents you know what, I'm gonna get married and he's black?
Yeah.
It was just like that?
Well, it was more than that in my case, because at that time it was a lot happened. He was in the street.
Yeah.
When I got pregnant, he got picked up again.
Oh.
And he got locked up.
Okay.
So when I had to tell my parents, I had to tell them not only he's black, but the race part, my parents was open-minded.
Okay.
They don't care, but damn, he's like, what? He's gone? He's away? What do you mean? So I couldn't tell him the details, so I kind of shut them down, so they were worried. They were worried so much. When he came out, I flew my parents out to Atlanta to meet him. And when they met, it was all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you speak the lingo. You when I met him, he was in the streets. He got picked up. He got locked up. He got locked up, and so I had to tell my parents he was on vacation for a little while, but he would be back real soon.
Underground, yeah. So yeah.
So what did he say to you to get your attention? Like when y'all was out,
Who? My husband?
Yeah.
And what was it? Basically, what he said. What was it about him that attracted you to him?
Okay. So when I was walking in a tight ass pants.
Say that part again.
In a tight pants.
Okay.
She was walking in some tight ass pants.
tight
What she
ass
said.
pants,
Yeah.
Right? So there was he was in the car, he honked and stop.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
where
what I want to hear.
So where you going? I said to school, because I was going to school, and mind you, I love going to school.
Right.
School is my thing.
Where you going? Georgia State?
I went to Georgia Perimeter College.
Okay, I know what that is. Yeah, Dunwoody. Okay.
Dunwoody.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was living in Clarkston.
Okay, I know exactly what that is.
Right behind
Next to the deck.
Right behind the Strokers.
Okay. Oh, you about to stroke? What you know about strokers? Oh man, come on, hey, witch.
I lived right behind it on the Brockett Road.
Yeah, Brockett, exactly.
So I
yes.
was walking the Brockett Road.
Yeah.
Trying to catch.
There used to be a Ferrari dealership over there too.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I have a home in Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta for 35 years, so I know all the places that you're talking about. So you behind stroking, so he pulled to the side. Hey, Shawty, let me holler at you right quick.
Yeah. But he's from New York.
Yes.
Yeah, I already know.
So, he's like, yerp. Like, what you doing? Where you going? And I said, school. And he was like, let's go over here, let's go over there. And I said, no, I'm going to school. If you're going to take me to the school, because I was already late and I have to catch a bus and the train and the bus.
Okay.
So if he could give me a school, I know it's reckless,
Right.
but if
Yes.
you could give me a ride to school, I would get in the car.
Right.
Because I was rushing.
Right.
So if you're going to take me to the school, I'll ride with you. He said, all right, come on. I could have been dead.
Yeah.
I could have been dead, but he took me to school.
Yes.
And in the ride to the school,
Y'all talking?
we talked about
Yeah,
a lot
okay.
of things. And I told him, like, I rap. I told him I draw. Like, at that time, I was designing tattoo for a lot of, like, people. Like a design tattoo for all the military guys in Okinawa. And I showed him, I had my sketchbook. So I showed him my sketchbook. And he was like, start, like, dissecting them in the 5%er lingo.
Okay.
He was a 5%er from the nation of gods and earth.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the, it's the supreme mathematic. It's the ones and twos and like, So I'm
Yes.
like, I've never heard of that before. Like, what are you talking about? And it kind of like made me interested.
So
and
you
I
know what
wanted to
that's
listen to
called?
What?
Sapiosexual.
Oh, yes. I think I am.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's called.
I think
so
I
he
am.
got you off intelligence and conversation.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah. Proud of you on that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, but when he pulled up on you in the car,
Yeah.
I already knew. Well, can you tell me his name?
AZ. He went by AZ because his name, the 5%er, the God's name
Yes.
is you Asiatic Allah.
Okay.
Everybody has Allah.
I was just
in
trying to see if I
the
might have
end.
known him, that's all.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You Asiatic Allah.
Yeah.
He would have been 51 this year.
Yeah, it's possible I don't know, because when you're in Atlanta hustling back in the day, you pretty much know everybody.
Okay.
So I pretty much know everybody, especially,
Oh, shit.
I've been out going to Atlanta since 1988. And I grew up in Jersey City and Harlem and New York.
Yeah.
So it's possible, so I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sapiosexual, but I like that.
Yeah,
He
I
got
think I
you
am.
from conversation.
Yes.
You mentioned that once he got out, things was okay, and then he ended up getting murdered. Since now y'all have a child together. He's not going to be there to help you rear this child, and you fell into depression. And you said it was your daughter that
Yeah.
helped you get out of depression because you had to realize, like, she doesn't have a father that's here, and if I can't be of service to her, if I'm dealing with these internal issues, I need to get my stuff together to make sure she has the best life I can possibly provide for her.
Yes, definitely. Well, she helped me through the whole depression. Like, she was my support system. She was, because I was like sleeping all the time, not being able to get out of the bed
it's
or get
difficult.
out of the room.
That funk that you was in.
Right. But I kept on writing, like writing diaries and writing all of this like confusions. But it was definitely my daughter, and it was another one is the conversation with my dad.
Okay.
My father went through the war. Like he was born. He didn't went through the war as a grown up, but he was born on the day of the Pearl Harbor.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So 41.
Yes.
Yep.
1941.
Yes.
So post-war era, and he saw his mom or his brother like lose their lives or
Yes.
like mourn the loss of their loved
them,
ones
yes.
and things like that. So and he's like, don't feel entitled because you lost your husband, because everybody has lost their loved ones or their friends or their family in Okinawa, and they still survived, and that's why you're here today. And when he said that, it clicked in my head. So if I am truly proud of my family or like where I'm from, I had to stand up and
It's tough.
yeah,
Yeah, it's tough.
keep going. And I didn't have nothing to lose at that time. When I have the support from my family, and I don't have nothing to lose, what do I want to do? I said music. And when I decided to get back on the music, I have to be the best. Like
Right.
I promised my daughter, watch me. I'll be an inspiration to you.
Wow. That's
So
amazing.
I have one more question. I think we're going to go. What's your plans as you get older when the music stops?
I want to build a school.
Okay.
That's why I have a charity now. It supports kids from Okinawa to study abroad.
Okay.
This is my second year. Last year we started it. We launched it. We do 100 kids homestay within Okinawa into American families.
Wow.
Okay.
Like because we can utilize.
That's studying abroad, right? Is that called?
No, I think she said the American families are in
That
Okinawa.
is in Okinawa.
Oh, okay.
And you put the children with American
Wow.
families so
American
they
families, so they can learn
Good.
like a different culture.
Yes.
Okay.
With the way of their life.
Yes.
Within Okinawa.
Okay.
Like utilizing the unique situation that we have
Right.
as Okinawan island. And then they take exam. Out of 100 kids, 3 can go to Atlanta to study for a
Okay.
week.
Okay.
And then this year, we're doing the same thing. Plus, we pick 2 kids from Atlanta to come
Go to
study in
Okinawa.
Okinawa for
That is so
exchange.
cool.
Yes.
And I'm looking to like expand the days because we could only like do short days now because of the budget. But I'm looking to expand that to kind of like so that they can learn for a year or like
Yes, yes.
real
Makes a
real
difference.
studying abroad. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
And then bring that back to their own community and help their own community.
Now I have another question. In your is it city or country? Okinawa. City, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
city.
Japan is the
Japan.
You guys have a Ritz-Carlton there?
What is it?
Like a Ritz-Carlton hotel?
Yeah.
Because I'm into, like, I'm spoiled. Yeah, I'm bougie.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I come from the streets, but I work hard. If my thread count gotta be on point.
Okay.
So, because I go to different parts of the world and I've been there, like, I'm not gonna trip. Nah, I can't do it, dog. I stopped that. Nah, everything I do now got to be on point because I'm into being
Defining thing, yeah.
I gotta have it, man.
You're at the
I'm
stage
bougie,
of
yo. I ain't
life.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm from the streets and I've been through all that. But when I go to certain countries, do you have Four Seasons, the Ritz-Carlton, the Waldorf Astoria?
Damn.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
Said, damn.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
In Japan, definitely. In Okinawa, do we have Four Seasons? I don't think we have Four
Well, as long as
Seasons.
you got the Ritz,
Ritz, Hyatt,
I rock with the Hyatt.
Hyatt?
I can rock with the Hyatt. Yeah, I can rock with
Ritz
the Hyatt.
Carlton, maybe.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm just
we do.
curious.
We do
I'm just
have it.
curious. Okay.
But it's certain part of Okinawa is resort.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of like
Because that's really one of my plans to
Yeah.
come to. I travel the world. I was just in Berlin. I was just in Great Britain.
Yeah.
But one of the things is I wanted to do Japan. But what I was looking for, who had the city remind me of New York.
Right.
Right. That's what was important. I wanted to go to the city life. I didn't want to do. My daughters like the culture and all that. They could do what the hell they want to do.
Right.
I just want to lay in bed, have my espresso, get my hands and feet done. That's what I want to do. But kids think I'm crazy, but I love it.
yeah, we do have it.
So, what can fans expect from Awich moving forward, 2025 and beyond?
I'm coming out with a project
Okay.
with RZA, fully produced by RZA. And in that album, we have the song that I just performed. And the first song is called Wax On, Wax Off.
Right.
It's featuring Ferg and Lupe Fiasco.
Wow.
Because Lupe is a true samurai. And he know all kinds of martial arts.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know?
I did not
His
know
father
that.
owns a dojo in Chicago. So as he grew up, he know all kinds of like Budo, like all the martial arts.
Wow.
He can do swords,
that's right.
swordsmanship, karate, dojo,
Lupe Fiasco?
judo. Yeah.
Wow. So
Every-
you can never judge a book by its cover.
No.
See, years ago, you could argue with someone. When I was growing up, you could go fist fighting. Now, you get in an argument, you got to really think. You don't know what a person know, right? You got to really, like...
you got to be looking at somebody's ears. If they got
Right.
them cauliflower ears, like, no, man, you got it.
Yep, that's so true.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go ahead.
And that's why, and just to put this out there, that's why on your interview, if you ever, anybody would get into an argument, always do it a gentleman and lady way, because you never know what the person standing in front of you is capable of doing. Because when I think of Lupe, I would never think, like, I'm not trying to diss him or anything. I just, like, I'm amazed.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed.
Wow.
That's awesome. So you got a project coming out with him as also, he's just on your project.
He's on my project.
And how long did it take you still working on the album?
Yes, I'm wrapping up.
And how many songs you have on there already?
Like 10.
So 10? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And when is do you know your release date?
September.
September?
September.
Now, you going through your own label or you being distributed by someone?
My own label.
Wow. Independent.
That's what I wanted to hear. And the reason why I asked that question, I used to tour at New Edition. And when Bobby Brown left New Edition, we did a concert and I met a man named Eazy-E. And one thing I know what Eazy-E did, he put $6,000 up for Straight Outta Compton, right? That was his budget. That's what he spent. And he made $27 million off Straight Outta Compton. So I've always, in movies, TV, music industry, I always ask people, are they going independent? And you really believe in yourself, you'll go independent because you cut out the bullshit. And that's how you never get played. And that's why the Dr. Dre's and Ice Cube's always won compared to the East Coast in hip hop, because they own, no one could tell them what to do. And ownership is everything. So I'm proud of you on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Do you know much about cognac, Awich?
Cognac, yeah.
You know about
A little bit, yeah, but I have my own
Sake.
brand new sake. I want you to try.
Okay, I
Yeah,
absolutely
we're
will.
gonna rock it. We're gonna rock it.
So this is habush.
Haboosh, okay.
See, I said it right.
Habush. And what it is.
It ain't got that snake in there, do it?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Is a snake in there?
Not inside, like not the snake itself.
Yeah.
But it has the snake extract in it.
Okay.
That's interesting.
And it's an Okinawan tradition to marinate snake in the sake. Because it used to kill, like this is a poisonous, habu is the name of the snake. It used to kill people. Like it used to bite and people get,
They
die.
get bit and they die.
So they have to kill the snake. But instead of throwing it away, they thought to put it in their drink and drink their strength into themselves.
So instead of letting the snake bite them and die, they figured they would marinate the snake and drink that and die.
Yes.
Oh, Lord have
And
mercy. And you
turned
want me to try it?
turned out it's full of amino acid. It's good for you. It never give you hangover, and it's aphrodisiac.
Oh.
Let's. I think we should. Let's try that now.
Yeah. We got some more glasses? I got to go
Yeah,
take.
we can knock ours out.
Hey, TK, this might be our last drink.
Yeah.
All right.
So much.
Cognac, in order for it to be a cognac, it has to originate in the region.
In the
In the
region.
cognac region. Now, this is a VSOP. That means it has to be aged between 4 and 6 years. So any cognac, it has to originate there. The first 2 years of its existence, it has to originate in the cognac region. It's a grape, and I don't know if people realize this, but cognac originates from a grape. This is a Uni Blanc grape and a Petite Champagne. So it's a combination, 4 to 6 years, and we've won like 13, 14 awards. We won the SIP Awards twice.
This is yours?
This is mine.
Oh, I didn't know that,
Yes.
man. Oh, shit. That's what. Let me go get some water.
I'll bring
Oh, but you know about the opening, to drop the water here to open it
No,
up?
I'm just gonna pretend that was my drink.
No, but actually, if you drop a thing
water
of
in
water
here?
in there, it'll open up the body.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can't control it with an ice cube because the ice
You really
cube's gonna
know your
melt.
business, yo.
Yeah, ice cube's gonna melt. It's gonna give you more water than what you need.
Yes.
But a drop of water, it'll open it up.
Okay.
But
Wow. Cheers.
congratulations on
Yeah,
that.
I love that.
Thank you.
Knowledge,
Thank you.
boy. Now
Salute.
I'm gonna be using your shit on motherfuckers, Shannon. Yeah, you put a little water, a little drop of water in that.
Wow.
You took that to the head.
Oh, not supposed to?
Oh Lord. I thought, we sip and, like, hey, yeah, how you doing? So how was your day today? I think you don't have to.
Yeah,
No,
it's usually a
I
sip.
didn't take it.
It's usually a sip drink.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
you
know.
didn't know.
Yeah.
You know.
But we do it like this.
You do it like that? Ah, you a big girl. All right,
Let's
Okay.
try
let's
that.
try
Let's
yours.
that.
Snake
Woo!
snake extract.
Yes. But it has 13 different types of herbs, so it's aromatic.
Am I supposed to just take it all
Take
in?
it to your head. Yeah.
Really?
Take it
I
to
don't
the
know. After the BOP and this?
God dang, which?
head. You need more?
No, I don't need no more. I was
Okay,
hoping,
let's see
hoping
what this is gonna do. You gonna drink with us?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
But kampai is a Japanese word for cheers.
Okay.
Kam what?
Kampai.
Kampai?
Yes.
Kampai, cheers.
Kampai.
Okay.
Kampai.
Kampai. Kampai. Okay. It tastes good.
It does. It's sweet.
It tastes good.
Yes.
It's the you taste a little cinnamon in the end.
Yes.
Right?
got
Am I right?
cinnamon, yeah.
I taste cinnamon on the end.
It's got cinnamon. It's got 13 different types of herbs.
Now, do you have extra bottle?
I do.
Okay.
If you want
mind,
to take
but you have to sign it for me.
Okay, I
and you
will,
have to sign his
definitely.
too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like sign it, put your name on it.
Yes.
That would be nice.
Well, thank you for joining us. Really
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
love.
you.
All right.
Good job.
I'm coming over there, so I'll give you my
Yeah,
information.
definitely.
I'm saying that to Ritz,
Yes.
though.
Definitely. Come on, do your thing.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why